Ray, stop, move your hands, wave for a minute.
It's got a delay.
It's what?
It's got a delay. See?
Stand up for a second.
You jumping jacks.
Yeah, what's next?
8 count bodybuilders. You can do at least 10. See, I didn't even move him.
No, it has. See, it's moving him. But this has a delay.
Sure we're live?
Positive. See?
Okay. Call to order. Time is now, I don't even know what time it is. At 10:13 a.m. Saturday, October 15th, 2022. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance using the flag up in the front of the room. Pledge allegiance
To the flag, the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Not fancy, but at least it lights up. All right, start with the roll call.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins,
Here.
Vice Mayor DeVille,
Here.
Mayor Jacobs,
Here.
we have quorum.
Additions, deletions, and withdrawals to the agenda.
I'd like to remove 11.2, the switchgear. I'm going to be working that into the capital improvement plan that we're working on.
Mayor, I'm adding 11. I'm adding 11.7, which is an item that I uploaded last night. I can show it to you quickly on the board. And I did forward it to everyone, letting them know that this item is the accreditation grant for the police department.
Yes.
So it's been uploaded to the system.
All right,
Okay.
and item 2 here. .2, I want to make it a line item. We're going to call it 10.1. If there's anything else I had marked. That's all I have. Do you have anything?
Yeah, that's it. Rob, does the AC work? It's getting hot in here.
It's going to take a bit to cool down.
I'm the only one. Got a good spot down there. I just thought it was adequate, so.
Don't touch those ones.
What about you?
Good.
You're good?
Thank you.
Maybe it'll take some time.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to accept the agenda with the added changes.
A second.
Discussion?
No.
Roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor DeVille, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins. Vice Mayor DeVille,
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs,
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkin?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Right. Public comments related to the agenda items, good and welfare. I was provided this to read for everyone today. Decorum, all comments must be addressed to the commission as a body and not to individuals. Any person making inappropriate or scandalous remarks or who become boisterous while addressing the commission shall be barred from further audience before the commission by the preceding officer unless permission is to continue or again address the commission and is granted by the majority vote of the commission members present. No clapping, applauding, heckling, or verbal outbursts in support or in opposition to the speaker or his or her remarks shall be permitted. No signs, placards shall be allowed in the commission chambers. Please mute and turn off all your cell phones or pagers at this time at the start of the meeting. Failure to do this may result in being barred from the meeting. Persons exiting the chambers shall do so quietly. All right. Who do we have up first?
We have up Mr. Michael Ragner.
Michael Rager, please come forward.
Good morning, Michael Rayner. I serve in Broward County as the chair of the county's Human Rights Board, but I'm speaking as an individual today. I've never been to a meeting here in Pembroke Park. However, an article in the Sun Sentinel this week did generate my interest and raise concern as to which is why I drove down from Wilton Manors while I'm in the middle of moving to Fort Lauderdale today. I know that on your agenda you have a proclamation for No Bullying Month for the month of October, or for the day at least. And it's kind of ironic given circumstances with the different public records that I've reviewed. And I'm a little disheartened by what I'm reading in the newspaper. I'm disappointed as an openly gay man and a person who is living with HIV/AIDS for 26 years, who actually, when I was much younger, and growing up in New Jersey, I was one of the youngest legislative aides in New Jersey's history to a very conservative Republican senator. And I know just from when the wife of the senator found out that I was gay, and then when they found out that actually I was diagnosed with HIV/AIDS, I was alienated and no longer invited to the holiday parties or other things, despite getting a letter personally from President Ronald Reagan giving me condolences when my mother, grandmother, and cousin all passed a month apart from cancer when I was 13. I'm Democrat. I'm a very liberal individual these days, but I'm disheartened. And I think that the city can do better, especially if the city is looking to embrace diversity. This is also LGBTQ History Month. There are many icons that could be celebrated, many just even in Broward County that have really many who, over the years, who have contributed and made this place a better place to live. We're living at a time right now when women are being forced to carry pregnancies against their will. We're living at a time when we have to suppress the teaching of an accurate telling of this country's history around race. We're denying children certain books just to help them find themselves, where they may be fearing going to school, fearing coming out and being who they actually authentically are as the person that God created them to be. And this city can do better. I'm sorry that there's not an LGBT History Month on here, proclamation for this month. I'm sure the city's never done anything to recognize June as Pride Month. And I ask that this city do better, because it's very disappointing to have to see what I'm reading and reading in the public records of what's actually out there. So, thank you.
Sir, thank you for your comments. I would ask you to stay for the entire meeting.
Respectfully, I will watch it later. I actually have to go finish my move. I'm, one of those people who are being pushed out of where I'm living and can't afford where I live, so I'm having to deal with my own life circumstances today, but I
As
will
you
watch
are
your meeting.
aware, there is no truth in media. So please watch the meeting afterwards, and your concerns will
Respectfully,
be
sir,
addressed.
I did see the emails also where you actually took pride in sending the TikTok video. You emailed the city manager and took pride in it, where you also had said that you sent it accidentally. So there's contradictory facts, but in your own words, you claimed having sent that. So I will watch the meeting if you want to clarify
Okay.
your remarks later, sir.
And
Respectfully, but I didn't come out here
Okay.
to attack anybody.
I understand.
just basically said that
I
am
understand. The only
disappointed
thing
that
I
this
asked is
Broward
for you to
County.
watch before you make judgment.
Oh,
Okay.
sir,
And then
certainly
after
will.
the fact, you can call town and contact me directly, okay?
That's fine, sir.
I welcome it. Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye.
Who do we have next?
No other one, sir.
No other comments today?
No, sir.
Shocking. Okay. Presentations. We're going to start with 6.1, the No Bullying Proclamation. And today, I am not going to read all of these because we have 4 of them. So each of my commissioners is going to take the time to do their due diligence and read them. And we're going to start with you, Clerk Commissioner. You have the No Bullying Proclamation. If you could read that for the city.
Whereas bullying is the aggressive use of power targeting another person or group of people with repeated unwanted words or actions and hurting them emotionally or physically. And whereas bullying occurs in neighborhoods, playgrounds, schools, and online through technology, and various researchers have concluded that bullying is the most common form of violence affecting millions of American children and adolescents annually. And whereas thousands of children and adolescents are affected by bullying annually, and whereas the targets of bullying are an increased risk of depression, anxiety, sleep difficulties, lower academic achievements, and dropping out of school, and students who are repeatedly bullied often fear such activities as riding the bus, going to school, interacting online, and attending community activities. And whereas children who bully are at greater risk of engaging in more serious violent behaviors, and whereas children who witness bullying often feel less safe and helpless to stop it and intimidated. Now therefore be it resolved that Mayor Jacobs, Vice Mayor Renaud DeVille, and Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins proclaim October as National Bullying Prevention Month, and be it further resolved that the town of Pembroke Park schools, students, parents, religious institutions, businesses, and community organizations excuse me, be encouraged to engage in a variety of awareness and prevention activities designed to make our community safer for all of our children, our adolescents. Dated this 15th day of October, 22.
Thank you. 6.3 is a 2022 breast cancer proclamation.
6.2.
I'm sorry, I said, oh, sorry, 6.3. Proclamation, Town of Pembroke Park, Proclamation Breast Cancer Awareness Month 2022. Whereas October 22, the Town of Pembroke Park stands with the courageous women and men who have been diagnosed with breast cancer and honor those who have lost the battle with this terrible disease. Whereas the second most common cancer affecting women, estimated 1 in 8, will develop breast cancer over the course of their lifetime. At 281,550 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer in the United States 2022. Whereas, as we observe National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we are united in the community supporting the end of breast cancer and emphasizing the lives of those affected by this illness. We applaud the advocates of medical professionals, researchers, and caregivers who have dedicated their lives to making progressive forward cures. And this month, we stand in solidarity with the breast cancer survivors across the country, delivering hope to patients everywhere. Now, therefore, we, Mayor Jeffrey Jacobs, Vice Mayor Renaud DeVille, and Clerk Commissioner William Hodgkins, by virtue and the authority vested in the town of Pembroke Park, do hereby proclaim the month of October as Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Sorry, did I skip over? How'd I do this?
6.3 instead of 6.2.
Did I? I'm
Right,
sorry. All right,
6.3.
6.2. The 6.2 is, oh, that's you. Okay, go ahead.
So 6.3,
Childhood awareness.
Childhood Breast Cancer Awareness Week, October 23rd through 29th, 2022. Whereas childhood cancer is the leading cause of death by disease in children, and whereas 1 in 285 children in the United States will be diagnosed by their 20th birthday, and whereas 46 children per day, or 16,790 children per year, are diagnosed with cancer in the United States, and whereas approximately 40,000 children on active treatment at any given time, and whereas the average age of diagnosis is 6 years compared to 66 years for adult cancer diagnosis. And whereas 80% of childhood cancer patients are diagnosed late and with metastatic disease. And whereas on average, there's been a 0.6% increase in incidents per year since the mid-1970s, resulting in an overall incident increase of 24% over the last 40 years. And whereas in the last 20 years, only 4 new drugs have been approved by the FDA to specifically treat childhood cancer. And whereas the National Cancer Institute recognizes the unique research needs for childhood cancer and the associated needs for increased funding to carry this out. Whereas hundreds of nonprofit organizations at the local and national level, including the American Childhood Cancer Organization, are helping children with cancer and their families cope through educational, emotional, and financial support. And now, therefore, Jeffrey Jacobs, Mayor, Reynold DeVille, Vice Mayor, William Hodgkins, Clerk Commissioner, hereby proclaim October 23rd to the 29th, 2022 as Childhood Cancer Awareness Week. We encourage all citizens to support this cause that so deeply impacts families in every community across the country. Dated this 15th day of October, 2022.
All right. 6.4, employee recognition. Police Administrator Joy Brown, Mayor Jacobs. Joy, will you please come up here? You can't hide. Hi, Joy.
Hi, how are you?
Everyone, this is Joy Brown. Came to us in 2019, was it? End of 2019?
August.
August of 2019, she came to the town of Pembroke Park, where she was executive assistant to the commission. 2 years ago, we made her the police administrator. I'm going to take a moment here to give her special recognition that she deserves. The town of Pembroke Park, employee recognition, Joy Brown as police administrator. Whereas since 2019, Joy Brown has served as the town of Public Park as the executive assistant to the commission and the town event planner. She was the liaison and coordinated the interaction between the commission and the residents. She encouraged the community by organizing and managing resourceful events. And whereas in 2020, Ms. Brown was presented with an opportunity to assist Police Chief David Howard with the creation of a brand-new police department, serving as his executive assistant and coordinator, and continuing her responsibilities under the commission, dedicated to both positions, being flexible and willingness to expand her knowledge and experience. Whereas Chief Howard, seeing her dedication and hard work, presented Ms. Brown with an opportunity to become the police department's accreditation manager, ensuring the agency's policies following the state of Florida Florida standards. And whereas, without exception of recognition and praise, Ms. Brown selflessly dedicated herself to serving the town of Pembroke Park in a multitude of capacities, working tirelessly to coordinate events and make deadlines and meet the needs of both the town and the community. Whereas Ms. Brown unequivocally amplifies the magnitude repeatedly to make a difference through selfless, and extraordinary deeds. Her understanding, compassion, and commitment embodies the true nature of what the town of Pembroke Park represents. Now, therefore, it be acknowledged by Mayor Jeffrey Jacobs, Vice Mayor Ronald DeVille, and Clerk Commissioner William Hodgkins, by virtue of the authority vested in the town of Pembroke Park, do hereby present employee recognition to Joy Brown as testimonial for her dedicated service to the residents of Pembroke Park.
I just want to say thank you. And it was a pleasure working for you guys. It was a pleasure. And now I'm going to turn the torch over to your new assistant. I think he will do a great job. And I'm always
Don't run
here.
away, you're coming up.
And I'll always be here for each one of you. So thank you so much for that. That's great. Thank you, Mayor Jacobs. Thank you, Vice Mayor, and thank you, Clerk Commissioner. Good luck.
Oh, here, hand me those. Hold on, there's two more. All right. Consent agenda. I will entertain a motion.
Mayor, you missed, I think, 6.5, at least in the printed one.
Oh, sorry, it scrolled on me. Police Department update. Mayor Jacobs, Police Chief Howard. Police Chief, can you come up?
Mayor Jacobs, Vice Mayor DeVille, Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins. Thank you.
Hey, we can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. Wow. For the last, 2 years, me and Joy have worked really hard to get this thing open, and then it opened. And it's not our baby anymore. It belongs to the town of Pembroke Park and the officers who are out there every day. In just 2 weeks that we've been patrolling, total calls for service is around 300. Average response times are 4 minutes and 12 seconds. That includes response times of 10 seconds, some 5 minutes. Multiple traffic stops along Hallandale Beach Boulevard with a focus on 52nd Avenue. And with that, I'll tell you that I've asked the officers to use discretion in writing citations so that the community can get used to us being out there, et cetera. That's resulted in 0 tickets being written. However, that moratorium, if you will, is because we've been out there now a couple of weeks. I think it's if we have to write a citation, we need to start writing citations. Points of interest is the racetrack on Pembroke Park Road. We deal with a lot of trespassers, suspicious persons, thefts, and traffic accidents. So far, we've made 6 arrests, and we've handled this. And this information's a little stale as of yesterday. We've handled 21 traffic crashes. So I was going to show a video, but I posted it on our social media pages. We had an issue in Seneca where these young kids who have no place else to go, I guess, are terrorizing Broward and Dade County and Palm Beach County. So we're part of a task force now, and we get intel, and we are trying to get them to not endanger themselves driving their cars around in circles, etc. I think it's called drifting. And couple of calls, if you'll just indulge me. Yesterday, Detective Frank recovered $4,000 in jewelry that was taken in a fraud. Day before that, or 2 days ago, we recovered a forklift and a trailer. The trailer was actually recovered in Hallandale. The forklift was recovered in town. It was stolen out of Georgia the day before. And the call of the week, a gentleman went into a convenience store, a local convenience store, and started to rip posters off the windows and threaten people in the store. But the clerk, called the police when he knocked over the beer display. And when we got there, the gentleman who was clad only in his underwear was taken to the county in his underwear. That's the call of the week. So we're out there. If you need us, call us. We're going to continue to enforce the laws of the county and the city and the state.
I'd like to
Chief,
take
I can
another moment.
tell you I've heard nothing but positive feedback from my own district, so I know you guys are out there, and I've seen it myself.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, we're very lucky. We got all experienced officers. I mean, we had to. So we're very fortunate that they came here.
If I'd like to take a moment before anyone else talks to add a little to this. We have residents that are more ecstatic than our officers. I don't know who is happier. I pulled upon 3 officers last night just to see how they were doing and say hi, because I haven't seen them in 2 weeks, and they couldn't be happier being here in Pembroke Park. This new police department's opened their eyes to a change in law enforcement where we have residents thanking them. People who you would not think would be thanking the police to be here, they're glad to see BSO gone and Pembroke Park police officers actually patrolling the community. I get text messages, I get calls. It is amazing. I've asked the officers if they do have something unique to please send me a picture, video, so I know, so I can share those with people. Unfortunately, we don't have the link to share some stuff at the moment, but they are going to be posted on social media. Incident that has happened recently, if you saw in the news media, there was a traffic stop where the individual police car was stopped on the tracks and got hit by a train. As you all aware, we have some very active railroad tracks here in Pembroke Park, right next to the 95. The other night, the officers got a car off the tracks that was stuck on the tracks there, that given at any time a train's coming through. I watched the video of our officers removing that car from the tracks. The guy was from, I believe, New Jersey, didn't know where he was going when he was trying to go where he was trying to go. That in itself was a pretty epic moment for the town of Pembroke Park. We also had an officer slightly injured because she was doing her job to rescue and make sure no one else was in a burning structure. So she went in to clear it and put herself in danger just to make sure no resident in Pembroke Park was in danger. That in itself, I do not want to see an officer injured, and I guarantee you if something happens, I will be at the hospital. If I'm not here, I'm on the next flight back. Unfortunately, I called her and she was out before I could even say anything. So, but I'm very proud of her. I'm very proud of all of the officers working here. And I couldn't be happier with what we have for a police department. The compliments keep coming in, which is something kind of unheard of. We're in the day and age right now where defund the cops is the proper is what everybody's saying. And I went against the status quo 3 years ago when I started this process of building a police department because I saw the need for it in this community, what we were paying for and what we weren't getting with the sheriff's department. So much so, I got a phone call from a U.S. senator this week. Very shocking because I do not know this individual very well. But he said I accomplished something no one else could accomplish and built a police department in Broward County and went against the sheriff's department. That was reinforced by another staff member saying that this was the impossible that happened. Knowing that this came from a U.S. state senator was absolutely mind-boggling. Not a conversation I expected to ever have. We are getting a lot of hate, the police chief and myself, for opening a new police department. And this isn't local. Some of it's local, but some of it's nationwide. This is what happens when you go against the status quo. But the residents would say just the opposite. They're glad to see what we have here. As you guys may have seen around town, a couple Canadian geese have popped back into the community, which means November 1st, we'll have all our Canadian residents starting back. And boy, do they got a surprise when they get here. So, Chief, when they do get back, there's going to be a couple homeowners association meetings. I'd like to borrow a couple officers and yourself and Rashana to take and have a little introduction with them, let them know what's going on in Pembroke Park. Because they've been away for a few months. So,
Thank you.
thank you. Sorry, did you have anything?
No, I was just going to tell the chief that I've also got good reports about the police being out there and being active, and commendations are due. Yeah,
Yeah, they're busy.
Yep. Thank you.
Joy wants to say something.
What? You want to talk? I don't know who you are. Wait a second. We parted ways. I got a new assistant. I think he just ran out.
I just want to piggyback off of the chief.
Go for it.
One of the officers went to your home, and they didn't know it was your home, and your car door was open, and they saved someone from terrorizing your vehicles. I just wanted to say kudos to my officers. They're great.
First, we're going to say that wasn't my car door. It was my wife's and my 3-year-old daughter's causing police reports already here in the town of Pembroke Park because she didn't close her car door and my wife didn't check. But I got the email. It was embarrassing. But they woke my wife up at 5 in the morning, and no one likes the police knocking on the door at 5 in the morning. But he was very polite. He had no idea that it was my house. He had no idea who my wife was, and informed her that, the door was open, and he was just checking. That's proactivity. That's proactivity in the town of Pembroke Park, which we've never had. And that in itself speaks volumes for what we got going on. Just the officers' presence alone, if you guys haven't seen them, they're everywhere. Every time you turn around, they're all over the place. So even West Park residents are loving it and thanking them. Also, as the chief did not mention, we have backed up West Park on calls. So where there is no love lost between me and the sheriff and his executive staff, our officers step up and help out other officers just like they're sworn to do. And the fact they helped out West Park, I'm very proud of that because they see no animosity. They don't have to deal with the politics that I have to deal with. So thank you again, guys. I know there's only 3 of you here. And I know you don't talk much, so. All right, we'll move on. Consent agenda. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Discussion?
None.
Roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor DeVille, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins. Mayor Jacobs?
Hold on. Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins?
Yes.
Vice Mayor DeVille?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Resolutions. 8.1, request for site plan approval of property addressing located at 3711, 3715 Southwest 52nd Avenue, Pembroke Park, Florida. Planning consultant, Michael von Mullen. Michael V. I tried.
Perfect.
Resolution number 2022-001. Town Attorney, can you read this by title only?
Resolution number 2022-0.
There's always one.
Resolution number 2022-021, a resolution of the Town Commission of the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, approving a site plan development for application application 22-SP-01, located at 3711-3715 Southwest 52nd Avenue, Pembroke Park, Florida, Magnolia, at Pembroke Park, 47 unit townhome project, superseding conflicting resolutions and providing an effective date.
Go ahead, Michael B.
Good morning, Mayor, Commissioners. Mike Vondermeulen with Keith. I actually have a presentation.
Got it. Do you need the clicker? Okay. I saw it on there and I didn't know if that was an old one. Okay.
It's the same, I just changed the name on the first page.
How dare you? It's okay, honey. Just bring it up, make sure that it's the same one. I mean, that it's this one you need. Give me 2 seconds, and then have it up. Is it the first one?
Again, good morning. This is a site plan approval for the Magnolia Townhomes at Pembroke Park on Southwest 52nd Avenue. The request is for 5 two-story townhome buildings with a total of 47 townhome units. The average size is about 1,100 square feet. There's parking, there's a one-space car garage, there's a mailbox, there's also a community center. Here is the location based on the aerial. Zoom in, you can see that this site, there are townhouses developed all around the entire area that's being proposed on this project. So here is the site layout. Again, the 5 buildings. You have a T intersection right at the very back of the property to allow for vehicles to go ahead and turn around, both fire vehicles as well as regular vehicles. What's nice about this is the five buildings are still the same. So and there's 47 townhomes. The community center is actually incorporated into the townhouse project, and that's over in the northwest corner on this particular drawing. Here are the elevations. We have some renderings. And that includes our presentation. There are 4 conditions of approval. Based on the plans, the exterior paint colors would still need to be reviewed, or the final version of the paint colors. The site development plan has an 18-month expiration, and all signage will still need to come back to the town and make sure it complies with code.
Something else.
So the Development Review Committee has reviewed this, recommends approval. The Planning and Zoning Board reviewed this last week and is recommending approval. And that concludes my presentation.
Thank you.
All right. Have to ask, has any commissioner spoken to the applicant, staff, or applicant team regarding this?
I haven't.
Ray?
No.
I have not either. The former town planner did bring this to our attention a while back, and that should be noted. But that was as far as the information we were provided. So I will now open for public comment. Anyone from the public have any comment about this? Cece? I know you got a comment.
Good morning, Vice Mayor, Clerk Commissioner. My name is Charisse Colon, and I'm Vice Chair of Planning and Zoning, and I just want to tell you that upon meeting the applicants, they were very dedicated. They even went out of their way to, for the plants that are protected, to replant them in our park, at the Preservation Park. So I thought that was really nice. They said it was migrating, what's it called? Mitigation. Yes, that there was mitigation. So that was a good sign, and I think it's going to be a great project because we do need more residential in the town of Pembroke Park. We do strive on our industrial, but, you know, we need places to live as well. So I'm hoping that you guys will meet with the applicants and then make your decision. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comment? All right, we'll close public comment. I will entertain a motion.
Motion to adopt or approve.
Approve resolution
Resolution
2022.
2022-021
with the recommendations.
with the recommendations.
I'll second.
Discussion. Ray?
No? When do we start?
Maybe we could set up appointments to meet with the people.
Okay. Make sure we do it independently so we don't have to have a meeting.
Certainly.
Also, I'd like to comment, it's great to see all the new improvement in our town. If anyone hasn't noticed, Amazon popped in, construction happening on Hollandale Beach Boulevard. Our guys over here like to build stuff. This is a change for a town that's been very dormant for decades. So that's all I have. Roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor DeVille, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins. Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins?
Yes.
Vice Mayor DeVille?
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Second, I just need to make a note here. All right. Ordinances 9.1, amendment of the election ordinance. Town Clerk Martell, Town Attorney Anderson. Ordinance number 2022-012. Town Attorney, please read it by title only.
Ordinance number 2022-012. An ordinance of the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, amending Chapter 8 Elections, Article 2 Registration of Electors, Article 3 Election Procedure, Article 4 Poll Watchers, and Article 5 Qualification of Candidates of the Town's Code to update terminology within the articles and to clarify the date for candidate qualification, providing for severability, providing for inclusion in the Code of Ordinances, superseding conflicting ordinances and resolutions, and providing an effective date.
You guys got a chance to review this?
Yeah, I did.
You wanted an opportunity to read through it real quick?
I will summarize why, and the town clerk is the person who requested this, rightfully so. We discovered in getting ready for the March elections that there was a conflict between our code and the county code. And so this just clarifies that the county code would prevail, and the town clerk wanted to make sure we got this done before the next election.
Well, this puts us in line with the county.
Yes, sir, it does.
All right.
And Clerk Commissioner, no offense to you, it took a lot of things away from you back to the clerk because this wasn't written properly to begin with. So the clerk is the responsibility for the commission, not the clerk commissioner. But you oversee the clerk's office, but you get what I'm talking about, right? It just changed your name out to the town clerk for our elections.
Yeah, I think as we all know, our town charter is woefully inadequate to deal with the way this town, or to deal with anything. And so although the charter calls for a clerk commissioner, I think by and large we've discovered that it's more efficient for the town clerk to be performing the functions of the town clerk rather than to have a clerk commissioner try to perform those functions.
I agree.
And I will tell you, as a former clerk commissioner, who travel and they see the title clerk commissioner, they think you're an elected town clerk.
Yeah.
It's not an accurate title. So, so all this does is clarify the language. Do you have any issues going forward?
No, I don't.
Okay. Then, oh man, I lost it. Where'd it go? Come back.
If I could just add one thing, please.
Hold on one second. Let me find it again. Go ahead.
Just so you know, Clerk Commissioner, it wasn't just the title. It's also how our qualifying period was set in the ordinance. It was set between, it had to be done no more than 60 days and no less than 45 days. Well, that conflicts with Broward County. That's why I had to change our qualifying from, I think I had it like the 15th or something like that. I had to change it to from January 3rd to January 6th. So that was one of the biggest issues.
Yeah, I have no issue.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
There it is. All right. Right here, 9-1. All right, I'll entertain a motion for ordinance number 2022-012.
Can you have public comment, please? I don't know if I put it on there. It's first reading, though.
All right, I'll open this up for public comment. No public comment, now closed for public comment. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve ordinance 2022-012.
Second.
Any discussion?
Done.
Roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor DeVille, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins. Vice Mayor DeVille,
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs,
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins.
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
This will be coming up for second reading in the meeting for March. March. Ugh, November.
Nine point two, commission salary, $10,000 increase, town manager Jimenez, ordinance number 2022-013.
Ordinance number 2022-013, an ordinance of the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, amending Chapter 2, Administration, Article 2, Town Commission, Division 2, Compensation, to increase commission pay by $10,000 annually for each commissioner, providing for severability, providing for inclusion in the Code of Ordinances, superseding conflicting ordinances and resolutions, and providing an effective date. I would like to say before JC addresses this, that we discovered, the clerk and I discovered as we were writing this ordinance, that this portion of the code actually had been changed in 2016 and never codified. So I think the clerk is going to take a whole bunch of ordinances during that time period and submit them to MuniCode to make sure all of those ordinances which were passed during that time period have in fact been codified, because I couldn't figure out why there was a discrepancy in what the code said and what the commission was actually being paid. And when we researched it, we discovered that there was an ordinance passed in 2016, which in fact gave the commission a raise, but it had never been codified, just as an aside. So,
Mayor, as you know, this item is a budgeted item, and as the town attorney mentioned, we just need to pass the ordinance to make it take effect.
All right. Open up for public comment. Anyone? Close for public comment. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve ordinance 2022-013.
Second.
Discussion?
None.
And I'm going to take a moment just to provide you a little more background. During that time, we had major issues going on with our clerk's office, which generated an Office of Inspector General report. So I'm pretty sure that is why this stuff didn't get loaded properly. And we were almost, I think we were over 2 years behind in minutes. So we were having huge issues in the clerk's office at that time. So that's why. And again, it's another project that they're going to have to address. Roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor DeVille, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins. Mayor Jacobs?
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins?
Yes.
Vice Mayor DeVille?
Yes.
Motion passes.
9.3, proposed dumpster enclosure requirement, building official Nunez. Ordinance number 2022-014. Town Attorney Anderson, please read by title only.
Ordinance number 2022-014, an ordinance of the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, amending Article 3, dumpsters within Chapter 11, garbage and refuse of the town's Code of Ordinances, to require dumpster enclosures within the town, providing for severability, providing for inclusion in the Code of Ordinances, superseding conflicting ordinances and resolutions, and providing effective date. I do want to point out before the building official proceeds that this does require this to go before the Planning and Zoning, but before it can be approved by the Town Commission. So in between first and second reading, we are going to be taking this to the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Good morning, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioner. Before I start, I would like to expand a little bit on what the Town Attorney just mentioned. The Planning and Zoning Board to take this reading has been scheduled for the 24th already. So it will be as the Town Attorney suggested, and she's absolutely correct. At this time, I would like to propose the Town Commission to accept the dumpster addition to require that all commercial and multi-residential buildings have a dumpster enclosure to avoid the garbage bins to be placed in wrong location, AKA the streets and in locations outside of their control or their property, while maintaining a level of vermin and garbage isolation to spill to the town-owned infrastructure. We have seen through the town in multiple areas that the dumpsters are in the middle of the street, on the right of way, and the garbage is everywhere. And that also can spill into our stormwater system on any other on the roads. So it might also create another layer of problems with the traffic because of the dumpster right in the middle of the road or close to the road. So at this time, I'm requesting for approval on this. Obviously, there will be what's the word that you said? Moratorium or time limit?
Oh, amortization.
Thank
Yes.
you. Amortization, we expect to be maybe 6 to a year. We haven't discussed 100%, but I believe that will be appropriate for all the businesses and multifamilies are in compliance. If you have any questions, I'll be more than glad to respond. And thank you for that.
I do have a question. Now,
Yes, sir.
read this, and so the enclosures, I totally understand. The point I think I'm missing in here is just that these enclosures are maintained, because around town I've noticed that they do have the enclosures, but the doors are falling off, never closed. You know, even though they have them, they're not really taken care of. So is that actually in here, that those are maintained?
That's actually in our code section.
Okay.
Maintaining the properties, and we are, and our code department is actively involved into citing them and making sure that they are appropriately maintained. And if they're not, then they will go to the special magistrate and follow the code process.
Okay. Any questions?
And the mobile home park is going to be involved in that too.
Mobile home park, basically they have a small trash bins. That means that you take care of the front, and that is not part of this. That's why I said multi-residential. Now, if you have like a combined area where you have a dumpster, then you need to have a dumpster enclosure. If it's something that you take just the trash bin, the day of collection, and bring it back into your property, well, that is not part of this ordinance, even though we're looking for future screening on those kind of bins.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. I will open this for public comment. Why not?
Sir,
Morning.
I'm sorry,
Vice
before you
Mayor.
start,
Just introduce yourself.
and
Paul
if you
Murphy,
could sign in, sir, if
sorry?
you could sign in, please. Just state your name and,
Okay, Paul Murphy, Miami-Dade County. Just one quick comment, because we've run into this problem before. Occasionally, you'll have a project already approved and the parking is at its max. So occasionally, you have to put in this dumpster in the parking and it takes up sometimes 2 or 3 parking spaces. So we need the city to be able to coordinate that they understand that it's going to reduce our parking at a site in order to put the dumpster enclosure there. That's all I want to say.
So I think it was almost 4 years ago, back after I got elected, we had a discussion about parking. We changed the size of our parking. We're in the process of that. So it's
sorry.
coming forward. All right. Because we had that issue, but if I get door dings, you know who I'm coming for. So, all right, come on up. You can address it, Miguel. Okay.
All right.
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you for your comment.
Yes, sir.
It's always nice to get one.
Thank you. Just to expand or respond briefly to Mr. Murphy, as that was actually the first question that the commission asked during the workshop on the last one, and I respectfully request the commission to wait for the next item, because that will cover first the size of the parking, and in the future, we're gonna be dealing, and we have conversation under the densities and calculations of the parking. This is a work in progress, so that way, if you have an issue with the parking that right now requires to be 10 feet, and you have only 5 parking spots, if we reduce the parking space, now you have the space for the dumpster enclosure. In addition to certain density calculation based on the new redistricting of the building, of the town, and some rezoning that we're trying to do in the future. It is a work in progress. Like I mentioned, the commission, unfortunately, we cannot change, Mr. Mike V and myself, we cannot change the entire zoning in one shot. If not, we're gonna be here for 3 years without having a break. Thank you. I know you understand that. Thank you, sir.
All right. Any other public comment? All right, we'll close public comment. Entertain a motion for ordinance number 2022-015.
Motion to approve ordinance
014.
It says,
014.
oh wait, sorry, I scrolled down for the next one. 014.
Motion to approve ordinance number 2022-014.
No second.
Discussion.
None.
I do have just a couple comments. This isn't 1957 anymore. The town has changed. Everything's changed. There's not too many people driving around in 1972 Cadillac Fleetwood Bromes that need parking that size that is in our ordinance. So, next item should address that concern. Roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor DeVille, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins. Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins.
Yes.
Vice Mayor DeVille.
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Item 9.4, proposed change to parking space size dimensions, Town Ordinance 28301, Building Official Nunez, Ordinance Number 2022-015.
Let me go ahead and read it.
Read by title.
Ordinance number 2022-015, an ordinance of the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, amending Chapter 8 zoning, Article 4 supplemental district regulations, Division 2, off-street parking of the town's code by changing the distance requirements for off-street parking, providing for severability, providing for inclusion in the Code of Ordinances, superseding conflicting ordinances and resolutions, and providing an effective date.
Good morning, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioner. Miguel Nunez, Building Official. At this time, we would like to propose to the Town Commission to accept the proposed changes to the parking space dimensions. I would like to bring this. Currently, our town ordinances require our parking spaces to be 10 by 20. So that means that it was, I don't know when was the last time that it was changed. However, upon reviewing municipalities, the actual size of vehicles and so on like that, we require that we synchronize some of the previous accepted, because we've been accepting some of these striping spaces, but at the same time creating a consistent dimension for all spaces. Why I say that? Because in the commercial buildings and multifamilies and any other location, with exception of mobile homes, is 10 by 20, but in the mobile homes it's only 9 by 18. So right now, in order to synchronize and make it equal, including to other municipalities and the standard industry, we recommend the parking spaces to be lowered to 9 by 18. Obviously, this will be an intermediate ordinance, because we're trying to we are in the process of studying the way we calculate the parking spaces to go into the current trend of mass transportation and so on like that. So that will be something that will come in the future. I have added in the memo to the town commission via the town manager and the town attorney, I compared it with 3 municipalities. There were City of Coral Springs, Lauderhill, and Miramar, which they have 9 by 18. They even have some areas larger than ours. Also, we are requesting that our parallel parking be reduced from 9 by 10 by 25 to be reduced to 9 by 24. That's for parallel parking because of the traffic and so on. So at this time, if you have any question, I'll be more than glad to answer them.
Questions?
Speaking of parking spaces, have you been contacted by the state or anything as far as getting some, for EVs and plug-in stations and things like that?
No, sir.
You haven't?
I have not. But I am under the impression, I cannot ascertain that there will be changes, including on the Florida Accessibility Code, because you need to have some accessible parking with AV connection. There's been discussion onto that. I don't know what's going to happen, but that's in the future.
All right, thank you.
Anything? So 72 Cadillac Fleetwood Brougham, 19.1 inches.
I'll pay the body shop.
All right. Okay, open for public
I don't
comment.
think the deans are going to be very bad. Those are pure steel.
I feel it too. So, open for public comment. None. We'll close for public comment. Entertain a motion.
Motion to approve ordinance 2022-015.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor DeVille, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hopkins. Vice Mayor DeVille?
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs?
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins?
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right. Item 10, old business. Bringing back item number 10.1. That was on the consent agenda.
7.2.
7.2, there we go. This is the janitorial services for the town of Pembroke Park, Clean Space, Public Services Director Clark. Here's why I bring this up. Right, we have this on here for the consent agenda for approval. I specifically asked what is the difference with what we're paying and what we were doing. I wanted to know that difference. It's not listed in here in the backup. It just still says the monthly amount will increase to, but I don't know what it increased from, what it was before, how much it went up. These are the concerns I have with items coming up here. If you don't know what the increase is from what we were having, you don't know what's changing. And this item didn't have that information on it. It still does not. Do you know what that difference was? You? No?
Robert Clark, Public Works Director. Gentlemen, I wasn't involved in that negotiation of that. It was just a standard move forward for the actual contract for the cleaning of the building. But I can uncover that information. It's just not a problem.
All right. I'm just going to say you are the Public Works Director.
I am.
And items that come forward from the Public Works Department go through your approval because you have this approved on September 21, 2022. It was approved by Miriam. It was approved by you. It was approved by Finance. It says pending town attorney and the town manager, none, and the town clerk, none. At the workshop, I asked what the difference was. I want to know that information. So
I'll get it for you in a minute.
this is fine. I will just move this forward so we don't delay this anymore. But on any other item like this, if I ask for it, I want to see it at the next meeting. I want the details. I don't want an overview, I want the details. All right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So I will entertain a motion to approve item number 7.2, janitorial services for the town, for Town Hall, and a contract with Clean Space Incorporated.
I'll make the motion to approve 7.2.
Second.
Discussion?
Don't have any.
Roll call.
Motion made by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins, seconded by Vice Mayor DeVille. Mayor Jacobs.
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins,
Yes.
Vice Mayor DeVille.
Yes.
If I could explain something, please. I just want you to be aware of that when you see that it states pending or none and none, that could possibly be that I uploaded it to the system prior to them approving it. But it does not mean that we have not looked at it.
Okay,
I
well,
just want you to know that.
going forward,
Yes,
make
sir.
sure it's the final document with every approval on it.
Yes, sir.
All right. Before we start item number 11, I need to take a 10-minute break. All right with you? Okay. We'll return back at 11:30.
I wondered if that was
I actually talked to the planning council, and they have a solution to
Marianne?
their problem, so.
Okay, so we have a meeting. I have a phone conference.
Did you deal with that contract with the cleaning company?
Great, great. So it's called,
Not with the planning, but with the actual church.
the church. So if you need me there, just
And
let
it
me
went
know, or
up
if you
to-
need me to conference.
Okay,
with
good,
you.
yeah, I'm gonna include you in on that meeting.
Yeah, their solution is to do what's called a traffic ways waiver. It'd be site-specific to them, and sounds
Would
like.
the town issue the waiver, or would it have to go to
We,
Broward?
it would need to be approved by the town and then go to the county, because that road, I guess because of the school, is actually on the Broward County traffic ways.
Okay,
And instead of
I
trying to
need
take it
everyone
off,
to know,
because half the street is West Park and
Everyone,
half the.
everyone, if you could listen, please,
It would
just
be
1
much
minute.
more involved,
yeah.
so.
Mr. V, sorry, I just want everybody to know, your mics are on. Everything is on, so I would recommend if you're gonna have any conversation, take it to the hallway so that it's not recorded. Thank you. No, I don't stop it because we have problems.
Yeah.
I have a cover letter that I need to.
Okay.
No. Yeah, I don't see it in here. Add it on. Actually, that's in line with the cost of living, the 8% cost of living.
Then I gotta go home to change. After, I gotta go to a baby shop.
So there was no increase the previous year. So.
Yeah.
Does she actually be able to get in there and clean? That place is locked up.
Yeah, what they do.
Offices. You can do the basic hallways and whatever. Right, yeah, the empty rooms. Thanks, Marion. No sleeping.
Listen, it's Saturday morning.
Supposed to be watching cartoons, right?
Right? I'll be playing my PlayStation. Killing skeletons.
Oh, I thought you did war games.
Laughing because I was shutting my eyes. I'm fucking ready to go back to sleep. Go home and take a nap.
It's from 1953. And if it's by nowhere book and page, it's not on the plat.
Yeah, I got my 8-year-old's. It's gonna be 8 on the 20th, but I'm gonna have a little.
You're gonna do what?
Birthday party for him.
Oh, cool.
Do you?
And sometimes we'll even do like Christmas presents or Christmas morning.
But I'm sure there's a couple
No, I mean right after the divorce, it was, right after the separation, there was
because that's what we're gonna be the problem.
a In fact, yesterday she spent most of the day at my house, kids' room.
Good.
You recognize me?
Yeah, you look different.
The cities, get them cities on, you know? Oh, your clothes.
So Micah, this is particle board.
Oh my God. It's just plastic.
You know, I just,
You got the information?
I got the information.
good morning. You look so cute. Look at, oh my God, look at you. Those are some boots, man. I love those. Oh, pink. Dude.
And boots are made for walking.
Are you going out on the
Nancy
town?
Sinatra?
Those boots are paid for what?
Yeah. You don't
You
remember
look
that
very
song?
cute.
From Sinatra?
Nancy Sinatra.
Nancy, yes.
I did. I had my pink earrings, and I had the pin on. before I
Walking
took
all
it, but I
over
was
you?
freezing, so I put my sweater on. So.
Those boots were made for walking.
That's right.
They
Those,
walk all
do you
over.
even know that song?
Yeah, I've heard that song.
Those boots are made for walking. That's just
just
what
what
they'll
they
do.
do. One of these days, these boots are going to walk all over you.
Oh, the boots have made quite the impression today.
That's why I got those. No, like,
Hey, you know, because that's what boots are for. They make
The statement piece.
that's what this is.
A $300 difference in that. What it was in the cleaning, and it was due. It was due to the.
You're
like,
young.
I really
You gotta
hesitate.
use it while you got it.
No, but I really hesitate.
She looks, I love the boots.
I have the earrings.
Oh, thank you.
I have like,
Good, how are you?
Good. Doing good.
Are you doing good?
Yeah, things are good. I'm really in the area.
Oh, good.
yeah, when I started seeing pictures, like,
You found a place? You gonna stay?
On my lease got extended.
I used to, when I was probably about your age.
Yeah, and I am working on a Canadian, which was off. That is gonna let me rent. Just let it back up.
You find stuff that you like.
So I got everything.
You know you look good in.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't run it out, guys. You know what I'm saying? I would put all that effort in. But I'm excited and I love it.
You like that?
Yeah.
That's compliments of our code enforcement.
So it's not like you're walking.
If it fits for,
Could you kill bugs?
did you get one?
Yeah, they run pretty good size. So.
But did you have one?
Huh?
You have one?
Yeah, I got one.
Okay, because I know you're very laid back.
Plus it's got a little hood.
It's just
I like that part.
here in public, yes.
All right,
See you
good.
later.
Because
What's gonna happen? I'm gonna hope it rains so I can use the hood.
I didn't get the pink shirt though.
Oh, Marlon's lucky I had this one at home. What she should have done is order for everybody. Order Criminal Park pink shirts.
Yeah.
We'll do that next
Very
year.
much.
How's your business going?
It's going.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean,
Getting everything ironed, all the bugs ironed out of it?
no, not really. There's always something new. If you do a new upgrade, sometimes it works with certain parts on it. The rest you have to make modifications.
Software modifications and all that.
Yeah, so, or you make a new software upgrade and some parts are not compatible. Now you have to upgrade the parts. It's constant improvement, but overall
See the light at the end of the tunnel?
I see it actually, because where I used to take forever to build one. Now what we do is subcontract to have them make all the sub-assemblies, because every single thing was made from scratch. You know? Take forever. Now let's say we have a robotic arm that consists of many different parts. Instead of me just building that arm and everything else, now we'll send all the parts to this company. They put it
Do
together.
you use any of that new technology, laser technology, where they make parts out?
I'm sure.
Laser printers?
I'm sure manufacturers probably use it to make the parts for us, but we don't use it ourselves. It's kind of dangerous too. I probably stay away from it.
Yeah, it might be.
Lasers.
I know. I was in an area where we used to cut granite with lasers.
Oh.
Water lasers.
They're really accurate. Right?
Oh yeah. They're super accurate, but they will cut through anything.
Oh, so that in itself, you probably won't even feel it.
You wouldn't feel it. They would cauterize it as it went through. You know.
That's funny. My last job, I was into avionics. We built everything in the cockpit. And you know, all the radio displays, they have a little glass. Because we made everything in there. So they had that laser glass cutter that would make the displays. And I would look through a window to the glass where you could see the operator, you know, guiding the glass. Sometimes I would point at him.
How many fingers you got left?
Put the finger in there. But yeah, no, technology's come a long way.
Yeah, certainly has.
Hope I see the next.
It's for the better good.
I'm thinking the next 30 years. What's it gonna look like?
Just look what's happened in the past 30 years. It's absolutely amazing.
Those movies, I'm like, really? You know, my daughter, that was like 2 days ago. We went to a store in Miami. And she came out, oh my God, Daddy, is that a payphone?
I just want
Because she's never seen a payphone.
before I start.
I believe that.
We walked over to that to show, oh yeah, this way you would put your clutter in and this how it works. She was amazed by it. She's seen it on TV, but she's
That
never seen a real
old-fashioned
one.
technology, yeah.
In a real payphone. Amazing. I can imagine 30 years from now, if we look at the iPhone, like, what was that?
Oh, we'll probably have these things that float in the air now. Or
Something. What you see on TV, you just go like this, the screen pops up. That's it. It's crazy, man. But the bad part of that is food also will be less natural as we progress.
Yeah, it's getting more synthetic every day. I don't know what that's going to do
That's
to
what I'm afraid of.
people's lifespans, but
Cut in half, probably.
because right now we have so many chemicals and things being put in foods.
Healthy. You think you're eating a fresh fruit, but look how it's grown with
Well,
chemicals.
do you notice when you eat fruit today, it doesn't taste, has like no taste.
It's like a water taste.
It's lost taste and stuff like that.
Going to Dominican Republic, I eat the fresh fruits, not the vegetables. Wow, this is tasty compared to the ones in the States.
Yeah.
So you know what else? They're all different shapes, sizes, whereas the store, they're all perfectly round.
Hello?
Yeah,
Hello?
So you know they raise them with
You know they throw away thousands of food. Well, a lot of them give it to food banks, but they throw away thousands just because it doesn't look right.
They know visually you want something nice that looks
Exactly.
Go to a lot of countries, that's the beauty of it. They're all different and unique, but they taste better than more natural. Yeah, we'll see.
Better get back to
No, I'm just trying to get his attention. If I can.
I purposely had it upset. To look good.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's true. You should
I
have
thought
asked.
you'd find that funny.
I did, but you should have asked. Look at that tie over there. That's a really nice
I
tie.
love his time.
Oh, 10 minutes is up. This assistant not doing
Mayor, I
his
didn't
job.
turn off the recording,
Uh-huh.
so you could get started
You
when you're
heard me?
ready.
I said the assistant's not doing his job.
So we're late, 5 minutes. It's 11:35. We got all day. We started early, so start with 11, new business, 11.1. 30th Avenue Mixed Use Entertainment District, Building Official Nunez, and Planning Consultant Michael V, 30th Ave.
Yes, good morning again, Mayor and Commissioners, Mike Vondermeulen with Keith. I think what I'll do is I'll just forego the presentation. You saw it at your workshop. I think most of the other folks that were here did see it. We made a presentation also to the Planning and Zoning Board. It was also very well received, pretty much similarly responses as what's taking you so long. So let me just go ahead and explain some of the next steps. After our workshop meeting, I met with the Broward County Planning Council and discussed the proper ways of proceeding with them as well. Understanding that Pembroke Oaks is also coming into the town and has a pre-app, so I expect them to be coming in anytime soon. Since that property is going to be requiring flex units, by the time the flex units are awarded for that project, the town will have almost run out. They'll have maybe 20 plus or minus units. So to allow this mixed-use project to move forward and at a quick pace, there are what are called redevelopment units that you request from Broward County. You can request those in the amounts of either 500 or 750. With the 750 unit request, there is to make sure that the minimum 15% of those are affordable. And so maybe that's one consideration we'd like to hear from the board. I think affordable housing and trying to incentivize affordable housing in this particular area as well. I think the 750 unit request would be the most appropriate. But the 500 come unrestricted, the 750 require 15% set aside. Over and above that, I think depending on our timing, we'll be bringing multiple city-initiated applications to the Planning and Zoning Board. That'll be a city or a town-only land use plan amendment that just changes the industrial to commercial. The text amendment to create this district, the request for the redevelopment units, and then the rezoning. We can either hold off on the rezoning until everything else is in place or actually move forward with the rezoning all at the same time. So at this time, that's pretty much what I have. I think we're really moving forward. My team, Keith, has been gathering mixed use and entertainment ordinances from around South Florida, trying to glean best practices and trying to use some of the best portions of each of those districts and then bring a very unique ordinance to the town.
We can initiate a train stop and a skywalk there?
We certainly, I think at least to set it aside so that if, depending on how well and how well received it is from the development community, that option's available. Absolutely. And that's something that we can talk to the MPO about. Is there a representative from the MPO? Yeah. So definitely, because I know, speaking from experience, there was a project in Pompano Beach, and they proposed a stop, and it was a very similar mixed-use development project, just a little bit bigger, and It was very well received by the MPO, so I believe that's something that.
Yeah, I'm already talking to Greg Stewart about it.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
They run about $1.5 billion, though, for starters.
So what are you asking for?
I think we received direction. I don't know if we need official direction at an actual meeting, but just to let you know.
You just want a direction going forward?
Yes.
So how about we just make a vote on it so it's on the record as a vote? I will entertain a motion to proceed forward with the mixed-use entertainment district on Southwest 30th Avenue.
You want to clarify the zoning first, or?
Miguel, should we clarify zoning, or should we just give direction to go forward? What do you think?
Right now, just give directions to move forward because there will be a lot of components associated.
Oh, I know
with that.
there's a lot coming. So
Yeah.
this is not an easy task.
No, it's going to be a daunting one, so we will need to make sure that we have
It will be
direction.
half as easy as building a police department.
We discussed that when it's done.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, I will entertain a motion to continue for direction to continue forward on the Southwest 30th Avenue Mixed-Use Entertainment District.
I'll make the motion on 11.1, the 30th Avenue Mixed Use Entertainment District.
Second.
Discussion.
None.
Huge progress for the town of Pembroke Park. So roll call.
Motion made by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins, seconded by Vice Mayor DeVille. Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins?
Yes.
Vice Mayor DeVille?
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs?
Yes.
Motion passes.
11.3. Taking off? All right. You guys have a good one.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
So 11.3, Church of Christ Settlement Agreement. Town Attorney Anderson.
Go ahead.
So Mr. Paul Hernandez is here today representing the church. We have been able to work out a settlement agreement. Also, code enforcement and the building official have been involved. If you have any questions for them. Basically, what the settlement agreement does is release the Church of Christ from the payment in lieu of taxes, or also known as the pilot agreement. They will pay us $30,000. They have also agreed in the settlement agreement to bring all code enforcement matters into compliance, and then they're separately going to deal with the code compliance fines with code compliance separately. And that's where we stand today.
All right, sir. Your name?
Hi, good morning. Paul Hernandez, the Lasarte Law Firm, office at 3250 Northeast First Avenue, Miami, representing Pembroke Park Church of Christ. Mr. Mayor, as your town attorney stated, we've been working for some time now on this settlement agreement. We do have staff approval. We have worked, as she stated, again, with the town attorney, the building official, and your chief code enforcement officer. I'd like to say that it's been a pleasure working with the town throughout this process. I think we first came on in June. I think we've been working on this matter since June, making sure that both sides feel comfortable with this agreement. And again, respectfully ask for your approval of this item.
All right. Discussion.
Did we have an agreement before?
I'll address it real quick. You don't know the history, so let me fill you in here. There was roughly over 100,000 that the church owed, and there were some code enforcement violations. And this has been ongoing before the two of us were here and yourself. The thing is, it was never taken care of. Fines just kept accumulating. I pushed forward trying to get this taken care of. There it is. The previous balance was $111,651.30. So Pembroke Park Church of Christ does a lot for the town too. In return, when we have our food drives all through COVID, they do step up and help out. We gave them, we came to an agreement, and it was we reduced the price down to, I believe it was $50,000, and then we reduced it even more. I'm correct, right? That we reduced it more down to $30,000. Yes. And then there were issues with the code violations, and just the can just kept getting kicked down the road like everything else does around here for an extremely long amount of time, even though we've been trying to come to a resolution with this. So this finally puts this item to bed, and we don't have to deal with it anymore. Church of Christ is happy. The town of Pembroke Park is happy. I'm happy not to see it come up on my dais ever again.
As are we, sir.
So,
So all the
anything you'd like to add?
So all the code issues are dealt with?
I believe there's one outstanding code issue still. Mr. Hernandez is aware of that. Code enforcement is aware that this agreement, they reviewed this agreement, and they're working to remedy the last remaining item. And then when that is taken care of, they will separately deal with the fines through the magistrate.
Yeah, the church has been working with town staff and the building official on the outstanding violation. They're working to remedy it. Last I heard, they had a contractor that they hired. We had another contractor that was right here at this meeting this morning, and we're working to resolve this outstanding issue.
All right, thank you.
And but it was important to the town and to us to make sure that that was referenced within the agreement, and the outstanding matters are referenced within the agreement. But we're just moving forward with all the issues that we had been dealing with before.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Very happy to see this.
Thank you.
So, I will entertain a motion to approve the Church of Christ settlement agreement.
I'll make a motion to approve 11.3 Church of Christ settlement agreement.
Second.
Discussion. Was that enough clarification
Yes.
for you?
Yes.
Okay.
None. I thought we had that agreement already.
I do want to add to what your question. What they came to the commission before is they agreed on the price. The commission agreed to lower it to $30,000. But then the question arose after that meeting as far as the outstanding code, and so that's what was incorporated into the settlement agreement.
That was almost 2 years ago.
That's why I thought it was over with.
Roll call. You have any more? Roll call.
Motion made by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins, seconded by Vice Mayor DeVille. Vice Mayor DeVille?
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs?
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you all.
You're welcome, sir.
11.4, rifles for patrol. Chief Police Howard.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Clerk Commissioner. I tried to get this on last meeting, and I just wasn't quick enough. So this, we're ordering these rifles from a local entity. They're in stock, and we can have them as soon as we get the PO issued.
This is a total cost of $24,450. This was a budgeted item. Come on up. I believe this was part of our whole startup cost with the police department.
Good morning, Mayor and Commission. No, this was not officially a budgeted item, but like you just mentioned, it was part of the startup cost. We did receive that $2.5 million for the police startup loan, and with the capital expenses that we can do there, this can be paid for with that money.
All right. And I'd also like to take a moment so you guys are aware. What we spend so far, 1.4 million is what we spent so far without the build out of our police department.
Somewhere around that, yes, I can
Approximately.
give you,
I'm not looking for a direct
it's
number.
about 1.4, yes.
By cutting the sheriff's department contract on October 1st, it saved $1.68 million for 6 months that we had budgeted for the Broward County Sheriff's Office. That's a huge amount of savings for the town of Pembroke Park and having our police department here. So looking forward to taking a chunk out of that loan at a certain point down the road. So, but I will get with you and discuss that. We'll bring it back forward. All right. I will entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve 11.4 rifles.
I'll second.
Discussion?
What kind of rifles?
I have no idea, sir.
I do.
They're
Sig Sauer,
Yeah,
AM400s.
AR-15s?
Yeah, the AR-15s, yeah. I don't know the manufacturer, though. The mayor said 6 hours, so I'll go with that.
6-hour M400s, 5.56 semi-automatic rifles.
It's just important everybody has the same handguns and rifles.
All right, thank you.
Roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor DeVille, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins. Mayor Jacobs?
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins?
Yes.
Vice Mayor DeVille?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Mark is not here, and I think you're answering for Mark.
That's
Yeah,
correct.
okay. So 11.5, Dell Tough Books for Police, IT Director Pakula, Police Chief Howard.
Yes, sir, the tough books that we have in stock now are not the correct ones, so we have to send them back. The best way to do this properly is to go ahead and send everything back, get a credit, and get the new ones. The difference in price is around $3,600. Of course, all that'll be submitted to FDLE through the Fibers grant.
Okay. So I'll just read it. It's $3,662.25, and they're asking for not to exceed $5,000 for this item. I will entertain a motion not to exceed $5,000.
I'm sorry. Is that right, Roy? That's not right. Because we have to get the other ones credited, it's like $34,000, right, for the tough.
No, well, that's the amount that you're talking about is the full amount.
Right.
But that's the difference. The 3,600 is the difference.
It's just the difference of swapping them out. So not to exceed 5,000 on, okay, let me let me do this again. We'll be exchanging the tough books that we currently have for the correct tough books that we need, which will give the town a credit on the old tough books. The difference in price will be $3,662.25, and this will not, they're asking not to exceed 5,000. So I will entertain a motion to exchange the Dell Tough Books for the police department with the cost of not to exceed $5,000.
I'll make the motion to go ahead and approve the Tough Book purchase for, and swap out for number 11.5 Dell Tough Books for the police.
Second.
Discussion?
None.
Yeah, I do have one. It says they sent the wrong ones, so why is there a difference? Did we pay for the correct one?
The correct ones are backlit and are touch screens. The ones we have do not.
No, I
have
get that,
those.
but is that what we paid for and they sent the wrong ones?
No, we paid for ones that weren't touchscreen and backlit.
Okay, good. I'm going by what you guys said, that they sent the wrong ones, so
Right.
I thought we paid for the right ones and they sent the wrong ones. So we ordered the wrong ones.
Right. I think you ordered the wrong ones, correct? And now we're getting the right ones.
I don't know. You'd have to ask the IT director. That.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what it sounds
That's
like.
it, yeah, that's getting clarity. So.
You guys should reach out to the IT director for clarification.
I will.
on
There
that,
was
but-
I will say that at the time of the order, that stuff was ordered, there was a bevy of activity around the police department, so it very well could have.
So it got
ordered
confused.
Correctly.
Okay, we'll fix the mistake. So, any more discussion?
No.
Roll call.
Motion made by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins, seconded by Vice Mayor DeVille. Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins?
Yes.
Vice Mayor DeVille?
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right. Since you're up here, we might as well discuss the next one. 11.6.
Yes, sir.
Extra duty detail application for police.
Yes, sir. Even on October 1st, the first night we were open, even before we were open, I was getting approached for extra duty detail officers at businesses throughout the town. I have a lot of experience with this as I set it up at my previous agency. The commercial cost of software to do this is very, very expensive. This particular application is a brand new application to the market. It's literally free for the Pembroke Park Police Department. We had a meeting with our finance director and the software company, and I think you support it as well, right?
Yes, support.
Come on up.
Roy Brown, Finance Director. I do support the item. There's no cost to the town at all. Just the only thing we have to figure out is the logistics behind the scenes, but from a financial standpoint, I'm 100% on board with this.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, there's nothing like it. Miami Gardens is field testing it right now. Fort Lauderdale's getting ready to use it as well, I think. So I think we should, my recommendation is to go ahead and move forward with utilizing it.
Just looking for a recommendation to move forward?
No,
I'm
looking for a
an
motion,
approval.
entertain a motion to
Use the software.
use this software as it's no cost to the town, or use the
There's no contracts
Elno,
involved.
Elno, how do you say that?
Aluno.
Aluno software application for the town of Pembroke Park Police Department.
I'll make a motion that we move forward with the, to use this extra software.
Second.
11.6.
Discussion? None. Roll call?
Motion made by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins, seconded by Vice Mayor DeVille. Vice Mayor DeVille?
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs?
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins?
Yes.
Motion passes. This is now where I added the 11.7?
11.2.
0.7.
Oh, 11.7. Hold on. I don't have anything. It's not on here either.
It's the
accreditation grant.
accreditation
Up there.
grant.
There we go. Okay. Chief Howard, the accreditation grant.
Yeah, I want to thank the town clerk for putting this on in such a late notice. I literally just got advised of our award day before yesterday, and it's $104,112 for 2 years, no match. It's to help us obtain accreditation for the police department.
Excellent.
And just for discussion, so everyone is aware, we've undergone 3 audits now with FDLE.
So those are different. Those are, they audited our background investigations.
Okay, we've undergone audits already, starting the accreditation process with FDLE. We've made it through all of them. So what this does is helps with the process. Accreditation is not a requirement for a police department in the state of Florida, but accreditation, I believe, is very important to have for our department. So I'm happy to see this going forward.
Yes.
Questions? All right.
Thing.
And that was just more information, right?
I need permission to accept the grant.
Oh, okay. I'll entertain a motion to accept, I can't read the grant.
Accreditation grant.
Accreditation grant.
Motion to accept the accreditation grant?
I'll second.
Discussion?
None.
I love seeing the grants rolling in now. Finally, it's a little help with the police department. So, roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor DeVille, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins. Mayor Jacobs?
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins?
Yes.
Vice Mayor DeVille?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Casey, can you tilt that TV down a little bit? The light is shining right on the top. There, oh, there you go. Now I can read it. Thank you. All right. Discussion 12.1. Start with the town audit. Finance Director. So, I'm going to have a little discussion, and I'm going to ask you a couple questions that you can provide the commission here.
Sure.
So this town has financially had a lot of issues historically, a great deal of issues, to where we have got nasty letters from, slipping my mind, JLAC, from JLAC because of lack of audits, never being on time. I will tell you, our resources up in Tallahassee bailed the town out and helped us out so we stayed out of trouble. Last year's report, I do not believe was on time. We were lacking in with our auditors on getting it done. And as you may recall, over the last year, I've been very adamant that we did not get another last nasty letter from JLAC regarding the town's budget. It's a huge deal to have the budget in on time. So this time, the budget was due July 30th of 2022.
The audit.
Or the audit, sorry, the audit was due July 30th, 2022. Guess what we did not have submitted? The audit. I asked at several meetings where we were with the audit. It was always, we're right there, we're ahead. We started early, everything was fine. And Finance Director, can you tell me when they finished the audit and submitted it to us?
Officially, the audit was submitted to us on October 2nd, I believe.
October 2nd. Now, personally, I have issues with the auditor for dragging this out, knowing that it's due on July 30th. Now, we did change finance directors at that time, and that was when the town manager needed to step up and make sure our audit didn't fall behind, which you came forward many times with the audit saying it was going good, everything was fine. But I think we need to really look back into our auditing. As, again, July 30th next year, we have another one due. And if the town needs to look into getting a new auditor so we actually get things done on time, we don't get the JLAC letters, and we don't get the phone calls. So you know, the finance director did call to keep us out of trouble and getting violated and any fines for the town. They gave us a 48-hour window to submit or 24-hour window to submit?
They gave us about a 48-hour window at that point to comply.
And we had a conversation all day. I will not ever authorize anyone to sign my signature here in the town on anything because it's my name that goes on the documents and I review it all. So they came forward to ask you guys, and Mr. Hodgkins, you did step up, and he was told at 5 o'clock if he didn't hear from you guys that I was going to authorize it. But you did came in the next morning and took care of it. These are things that make the town of Pembroke Park look bad. Not in the residents' light because it's not something they pay attention to, but it's Tallahassee, it's the state of Florida, it's Broward County. The fact that the town audit of a small town such as ours can't get these simple basic items in on time, it's another problem that we need to address. So I've had discussions with the finance director, and I believe I'm going to call you again, and we'll finish our discussion, and I'll bring forward what we're going to do to make sure this doesn't happen again next year.
Yeah, if we need to get another auditor, I think we should.
I totally agree. So that's one of those things that you can consider, and if you can, before the next workshop, come up with a solution on how we can, how we should proceed. We're looking for your recommendation on that, and I'm not against another town auditor as well, because that's in my eyes inexcusable, and we pay them. I believe the contract's $50,000 for our audit to be complete.
Yes,
and guys, I hate paying for things that we're not getting. And if this puts the town in a bad light and puts the town in financial trouble where we face fines, it's time to look for another contractor. So, just my opinion, but please address that. Come back to the workshop with some solutions and how we're going to make sure this doesn't happen going forward.
Sounds good. And if I may add,
sure.
I did speak with Tanya and Marie, her assistant, who prepared the audit for us last week, late last week, and we have prepared a timeline to be a little bit more proactive with the audit. So we do anticipate starting the process with audit compliance as early as next week. So we can assure that things will come in a timely manner. Now we have laid the groundwork, like I said, as far as a timeline to address the timeliness of when things are submitted. So that will be addressed, and I will make sure that in the next meeting I'll bring some information as far as recommendations moving forward.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
I gotta address my notes here because I got them on my phone. All right. Capital improvement projects. Nice to see this on the agenda. This will be for the town manager. I've been on this for a while. We have a list of 28 items on our capital improvements project that are old. They've been sitting there for a long time. I believe the top 8 of them have grants on them.
There's, yeah, yes, I don't know if it's 8 or 5 or 8 or.
Anyways, it's a disaster. So, we need to have a capital improvements project meeting with the commission. If we have to hold a special meeting to have this done, it is legislation time, and we need to have our capital improvements projects. It should have been done already, ready to go for the town. This is how we bring money to fix things like our sewer pipes, our lift stations, undergrounding the utilities in the town. The major projects that we have, this is how we get funding for. I'm gonna point out again, there's 8 items or so on that capital improvements list that have grants attached to them that still are sitting there. These need closed out. They need completed, and that was set as the #1 priority in this town. They were set here long before we were here. They need gone. I think we might be on the verge of losing one because we signed an extension. I can't recall the date. I looked last night. I don't see the exact date on it, but that time's coming up, and guess what? Still not done yet. So I'm not happy.
Mayor, neither am I. And after our last meeting, I'm working with Finance Director Brown and Public Works Director Clark, and we're coming up with a capital improvement plan organized, prioritizing the ones with the grants already, obviously up in the front. We're going to have updates on each and every one of them for you, and I'll do that at the next workshop.
This needs done now. We've been on it all
Absolutely.
summer. We've brought it up many times. This town cannot move forward without getting rid of these grants.
I agree. And the C-SLIP program that's going to be affecting the street out here on 52nd is I've been in touch with Todd Brower, and he's the one who initiated the program to begin with. And I have him and Miriam and Greg Stewart all involved in seeing what the holdup is and why things aren't moving faster.
Sure, the problem is, and as you know, there's a list of projects that I don't even know if this commission even approved those. I mean, it may have been before.
This commission hadn't approved any of
So,
those.
so we're trying to organize all those, bring those to you. So forget about the ones with the grants. We're going to complete those. But the other ones, as we're prioritizing them, because you can't just do 50 projects in 1 year. You have to space them out.
And we are much aware of that.
Yeah, so that's what we're working on doing. But I also want you guys to review them and say, hey, yeah, this may have made sense 5 years ago, but we don't need this.
And I just want to clarify for you, because this was before the other, when the former commission was here. I don't know if Ray was as surprised as I was when we found out apparently they were putting in for $1 million building, some kind of school, some kind of $1 million building they were trying to put in the park that the two of us had no clue about. We were kept in the dark. It was just sprung on us. One of these harebrained ideas that had no follow through, no funding, nothing to go with it. It was, hey, we're doing this, but apparently this was before the two of us were here. And then I got attacked because it's been on there, blah, blah, blah. Okay, listen.
But no
There was stuff
documentation,
that was
right?
done that I guarantee commissioners in this place did not even know things were done because they weren't done properly, like the ordinance that we just went through earlier and addressed. So there is a multitude of that here in the town, and it doesn't surprise me when something else comes forward. So economic development study to go with the capital improvements project. I still only have a draft copy. Have we got the final version of that yet?
Actually, we met with Miguel. I handed it over to Miguel. I don't know if you wanted to talk about it or not, if we're going to move forward with it. The economic development study, how we're going to utilize it.
Well, here's the thing. That's not what I'm asking. Do we have the final draft yet, or the final copy?
No, No, we don't have the final draft yet. We
Okay.
have the rough draft.
Rough draft,
For you
that's all
guys
we have.
to review and make comments, and then they'll prepare the final draft once they get your comments and feedback.
Okay. I need you to do me a favor. Email the three commissioners, again, a copy of the study, the draft. Please take the time, email, or make notes on anything you would like to see changed. And if you want, you can schedule a meeting with JC to meet with the company preparing this. Or you can do it on your own. It's up to you. If you want JC and have a meeting that
Miguel,
way.
I apologize. You don't need to address it.
No problem. You can sit down. It's no big deal.
Apologize.
But take the time, because this is our town. These are the changes that need to keep this place progressing and moving in a forward direction. So the draft looks good. There's a couple of comments I have. We'll save that for a later time. But please look into it. Do your due diligence on it. If you need a meeting with JC to do it, or just reach out to them, please provide their contact info.
Well then.
All right. Master plans, the stormwater sewer, those master plans that we have. Rob Clark, can you come up? And just my comments here is just so you guys are aware again, those are 22 years expired, maybe going into 23 now. They're required to be done every 5 years. So we went out and spent approximately $700,000 for both plans.
Thereabouts, sir.
Right around there. $700,000 for both plans. Where are we at with that?
So I meet with Craig A. Smith every week, and what we have is we were able to produce a timeline for the from the sanitary master plan, and at the very best we'll be able to produce one because of the the complexity of the scope. We'll be able to produce that document in June 2023.
So we should expect it June 2023?
According to their timeline, they've printed out the timeline. We start next week with the due diligence. So through that process, we'll be able to identify areas of concern, pull motors, get information, and take the necessary data to compile the report.
Who's the project manager on this?
His name is Daniel. His last name escapes me. I can pull it up real. I think it's Niles, but let me
Okay.
real quick.
So notice Todd Larson's been here in town.
He is.
Working for Craig A. Smith and Associates?
I noticed that last week when we met, I noticed on the Zoom there was a Todd Larson on there. I didn't see his face or anything like that. I don't even know what he looks like, to be honest with you. He's on there, and apparently he's a consultant for them, not the project manager, but somebody that they're utilizing as far as to garner historical data for the town.
Okay, so
Why does that name sound familiar?
I will tell you why. Do you want to tell him?
So the project manager is Daniel Schonk. He's an engineer for Craig A. Smith, and he elicited support from Todd Larson, who used to be the person in my position now.
All right, so let me explain, and I'm going to tell you why I have some major concerns here. Concern being, again, this was before all of our time here. We just caught the tail end of it. The Office of Inspector General did an investigation on the town of Pembroke Park. In that, the former Public Works Director was implicated by the Office of Inspector General. His name is Todd Larson. Implicated because the only contractor he was using is Craig A. Smith and Associates. I cringe every time I see that name. Now, I read the report, and in there he states that and here's where we got hit, proper procurement wasn't followed. Basically, they were the only one doing anything here in the town. Craig A. Smith and
Wasn't
Associates.
going out for bid.
Wasn't going out for bid. Things weren't done properly. It was really bad, okay? Here's where my problem is. We just did a $700,000 contract, approximately, with Craig A. Smith and Associates. We have, if they hired a consultant, I don't know if he works for Craig A. Smith and Associates, or if he's a consultant running his own business. I don't know the parameters of it. But I've been adamant that we rotate through instead of doing Craig A. Smith and Associates for everything. How many other businesses do we have that can do
As
that?
it stands now, there's two projects, Southwest 25th Street Drainage Improvement Project and this one. That's it.
Well, I know those are both with Craig A. Smith, but how many engineering firms? How many engineering
Oh,
firms?
it's approximately 11, right, Mayor?
I think it's 11. I
It's
think
11.
I signed 11 different contracts for 11 different engineering firms. Now, the town got in trouble for Craig A. Smith and Associates. The town got in trouble for the Public Works Director. And my goal was when I moved to this seat that there were no new OIG investigations in this town. That sounds like the stupidest goal ever, but everything this town's had to deal with, that's huge. And now I got the former Public Works Director who was terminated from the town of Pembroke Park working with or for Craig A. Smith and Associates on projects in the town of Pembroke Park.
That's a big conflict.
That's a major conflict of interest, and I don't know what the legal implications could be from that, but that is very alarming to me.
Did I see this name in a suit, a lawsuit?
I know, I don't think there's a lawsuit. No, but he was terminated from the town. So I think we need to hold up and we need to put a stop on everything that's going on with these two till we find out and get a legal opinion on this.
Well, actually, the stormwater master plan is not with them. It's a separate company.
So it's just the sewer plan?
Yeah, it's just the sewer. Stormwater is with Kimley Horn.
With who?
Kimley Horn.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
another engineering firm.
Okay, I remember.
I think if you guys want Todd Larson not to work on the project, we just need to ask Craig A. Smith.
him.
Yeah, just tell him we don't want him on the project. That's the easiest way to take care of it.
I just think it's very interesting that
I think as it was explained to me, I was in a meeting when there was a kickoff. I did not know Mr. Larson was going to be a part of the team. He was introduced to me, and and then it was explained that they were using him for historical purposes. So I think if the commission is uncomfortable with using him, and I certainly understand why, Public Works should request, or the commission should request, that they not use him.
I'm going to recommend to the commission that we make sure he is not included in this project.
Mr. Mayor, if I can, I had a discussion with Mr. Smith about this particular issue, and he assured me that it wouldn't be a problem removing Todd from this project. So all it would take is a phone call from me, and that's it.
All right, so
You're
you all right with that direction?
Certainly. Yeah.
Ray?
Move forward without Todd Larson?
To have them make sure he is not on this going forward, because I have a feeling this might open up another OIG investigation, because I don't see this as going well for the town of Pembroke Park with him on
Yeah,
it.
there's too much of a conflict of
Very much
interest
so.
here,
So, I think that
We'd be sure he don't work in the background. He's not working in the background.
that you can't, and that's the problem I have as well. So, again, I cringe when I see one company being listed over and over again when we now have 11 different.
Let's get it in writing.
All right, I think that's best.
Yes, sir. And the motivation behind that is because Craig A. Smith has such a long history with the town. They know where the issues lie, and they were a part of a great deal of the construction. So therefore, they will be able to provide the most historical data for the town so we can move forward past this. And also is another reason why we didn't give the entire project of stormwater and sewer to that organization. We adhere to your guidance in this. It just happens to be that they were the best person for the job in this particular case.
And I understand that, but I think we need something in writing to the commission
guarantee.
We'll absolutely get it that he's not going to.
Some kind of guarantee from Craig A. Smith and Associates that
Absolutely.
this will not happen to CYA, the town, and the commission regarding this issue.
It has already been discussed with Mr. Smith.
Okay.
Let's get it in writing from him, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll give you discretion or direction to take care of that. All right. Got another issue I'd like to bring up. It's Public Works. It was the last workshop. So, last workshop, you threw a multitude of items on there. Proper town procedure was not followed when it comes to that whatsoever. The thing is, it goes through a lot of checks before it gets to us. It goes through the town clerk, it goes through the town manager, everybody signs off on it. That was an absolute waste of our time, a waste of your time, a waste of effort put in there. A request for $1 million, a request for $20,000, a request for $20,000, no backup, no nothing. It's not how things are done around here. There's a proper procedure to follow, and when things come up here to the commission, they need to be ready so we can all review it, ask the questions that are needed prior to the meeting, so we're well informed of the decisions we're going to make going forward. Without that, we have no knowledge or understanding of anything. So we'll say during the management meeting, the town manager did say the commissioners were overwhelmed by the Public Works agenda items. I will tell you, I was not overwhelmed. I was extremely disappointed, and I was extremely disappointed in seeing that agenda come forward with the multitude of garbage, so to speak, on there, because it was full of nothing. There's no meat and potatoes to that whatsoever, and it was an absolute waste of our time. And we're not going to let that happen again. If I see these coming forward on the agenda items when I review them, they will be addressed before they get here, because I'm not going to waste his time, and everyone else that's here, because that's what that did. So going forward, make sure that does not happen.
Those won't happen again.
Proper procurement is followed at all cost. These proposals to the commission, you're not going to the commission to find out what they want done. You're bringing proposals to the commission saying, we have this problem needs addressed. We have this problem needs addressed. The details, it's all in the details. Because we're not experts in every aspect of the town. We all have our expertise in different areas, like roofing that we addressed at the last, robotics, which I don't think we have any here in town. Do we?
Yep, we might.
Okay, let's get a robotic mower. What do you think? So, just make sure you're prepared and bring it forward properly. Everything goes through the checks and balances, and when they are signed off by the individuals, they will be held accountable for it as well. So, done with it. So,
Yeah, just make sure you have the proper information so we can vet things properly, that's all.
Yes, sir.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you, Robin.
thank you. Another issue needs addressed. So I'm going to bring up the BSO contract. I'm bringing this up for discussion. So the commission's fully aware of what's been going on. See, we have this thing called the Sunshine Law that prevents you, me, the three of us from having a conversation outside our meetings. There's other things that can happen, but we don't. So we're all assigned different tasks. You're at the MPO. You're the fire commissioner. You're the vice mayor, which has other responsibilities. My position here is of administration and the police department. So I want you to know, through this entire process, I have not hidden anything from anyone whatsoever when it came to the construction of this police department. Time was running out. Things were getting really quick on us. And the chief and I spent a great deal of time coming up with plans on how we were going to proceed. With BSO, without BSO, we were putting plans together. We met with the building department, coming up with solutions for our operations area. We were, I can't tell you how many hours have been spent, but I want to make you aware the town manager has been in the loop the whole time. And one of our plans was launching October 1st. We had a communications issue. That was, we did not have our RMS and our radios connected with the county the Friday before. And the town manager was aware we were pushing to start on October 1st. So if you heard otherwise, that was wrong.
No, excuse me, may I just?
Let me finish.
Okay.
I said we had a couple things that we had to iron out, but we had backup plans in place too. We had backup plans communicating with other municipalities to have coverage. We tried to reach out to the sheriff's department to give us some officers for coverage, which every other municipality in Broward County has that opportunity. Pembroke Park does not. So BSO said no, absolutely no to us. So we had plans in place. Here's the thing. Due to the security of our police department and the safety of our public and residents here in Pembroke Park, a great deal of this information could not be disclosed to the public. Unfortunately, one of our plans leaked out to the media, which set some commissioners off in another city because they hadn't been fully advised of the situation yet, which made that opportunity disappear. That was a critical backup plan that we had. I talked to the county on, I believe it was Thursday or Friday before. They said they would have our radios connected and we would be and have our radios Tuesday. So we came up with a solution for our body armor. We came up with a solution with our uniforms. We knew we were going to onboard the staff starting on Monday. I want you guys to be aware because I made sure he was aware, the town manager, of where we were at through this whole process. Also, along with this, our radio showed up Tuesday, just as they promised, which was great because that was the biggest delay that we were having.
That was an important one.
That was
also.
the most important because it's a state statute, state
Right.
requirement for us to
Exactly.
have it.
Right.
But when that came through, we had a plan. It wasn't the best way to onboard our officers, but wasting 1.68 million when we had a police department up and ready to go was a waste of 1.6 million of our residents' money and our taxpayers' money. So we had a vote. The three of us had a vote. And listen, with all due respect, you voted it down, and I understand. I understand where you were, and him and I voted for it to continue. Okay, we're all three in.
And why I voted it down.
I do.
Because I wasn't aware of what you were aware.
And that is exactly why we're having this discussion right now. Because I can't talk to you and say, listen, this is where we're at.
You could at the meeting.
I could at the meeting, but there are things that I couldn't put out because it jeopardizes the safety of our community and residents. There was only so much I could put out. But here's the thing. This man right here is the town manager. All right? You guys can't go to the police department because I oversee the police department. Doing so could cause a third-party sunshine violation. And if you don't believe in sunshine, it's a big deal. Our former commissioner got hit with it as well. Okay? I will not let that happen. I will not be involved in a sunshine violation. So, you guys have to reach out to the town manager. The town manager has to fill you in on the blanks on where we're at and going forward. So let me tell you what happened. Tuesday, the date's really not important. My calendar's missing again up here. But the Tuesday beforehand, I got a phone call because of the hurricane coming that they canceled the meeting. And I was told that we had to have a meeting. We had to have the meeting by Friday because the BSO contract needed to be signed by midnight. All right? So, the way the meeting works, you voted no to it, so you can't bring that item back forward. It's done. When you lost out on it, it's done. The two of us, we voted for it. So the two of us are the only ones here in this town that could bring that item back up again on the agenda. So my question is, how did that item come back on the agenda? And I'm just going to hold off for a minute because I had the town clerk calling me saying we need to have a meeting after they canceled the meeting, trying to push a meeting. I had no idea what my schedule was going to be because things are in my life are going this way and that way at the moment. So my point being the fact you weren't completely informed, up to and including the fact I asked for the swearing in of the police officers to be put onto the agenda. So it was there. It wasn't there. And that was a problem because I asked for it to be put on there. I didn't showboat. I didn't do anything stupid. I did as I completely planned and I was going to do. I asked for the swearing in.
Yeah, so you're saying there was a pre-knowledge of this by...
There was a knowledge of this, and it wasn't...
The town, and we were not aware.
And it was not put on the agenda that I was swearing in the police officers. We had a room full of officers here.
You realize that's why I brought up the fact of the contract. I was the one who had that put on the agenda because I didn't know any of this.
And hold on, I completely understand. But you could not put it back on the agenda because you lost that opportunity when you voted no on it. There were 2 people here in this town, that's it, not staff, 2 people that can put it back on the agenda. That is Ray or I. We're the only ones that could put it back on the agenda. And I'm going to tell you, I feel, it's my opinion, you have not been fully informed what's going on. You've not been fully informed of the situation we had going on with the police department. You as well. And there was a lot of misinformation getting put out there. So that's where we ended up. Now, JC, go ahead.
At that meeting where when the commission decided that, and you said you had a backup plan, the commission as a whole was under the impression you had a backup plan. Not that we were going to start October 1st. That never came up. You cannot unilaterally, sir, with all due respect, without the commission's approval, say we're going to start October 1st without them knowing. That's why I had to put it on the agenda. So there were 2 options. You wanted to start October 1st, or we continue with BSO for 6 months. That's why I needed it put back on there, sir, because you do not have the unilateral authority to say, October 1st, we're starting. Tell the commission. Because guess what? Yes, I'm the town manager, and you guys can speak with each other, but I can't communicate with them
Hold on a
and
second.
tell them what you're saying, because then I'm just a conduit to the sunshine law violation. So I can't do that. And with all due respect...
As the town manager, you do have liberties to have conversations with these 2 about what's
But
going
I
on.
can't tell you them how you want to vote. I can't tell them
No,
that.
you cannot talk about how I'm going to vote, in my opinion. But you were fully aware of where we were with the police department. I had conversations with you and told you our plan was to open October 1st.
And what did I tell you?
That was a month prior.
No, it wasn't. It was
I'm not gonna
2
argue with
weeks
you.
before. And I told you, you don't have the authority to do that. And
Okay,
you said,
hold on.
yes, I do.
5 times now, the town of Pembroke Park has voted for their own police department. Okay? We should not have to vote. We should not have to vote for when that date was going to start. And here's why. That contract got brought forward again. The BSO contract brought forward, and that contract died. All right? And here we have the town manager putting it back on there when he was fully made aware of where we were and how things were proceeding. Now, I don't want to talk bad about anyone sitting up here with us, but one individual sitting up here with us leaked some information that should not have got out to the media, which cost us our backup plan, unfortunately. And when it comes loose lips sink ships, you know, that we were in a very, very particular situation. And I had a very hard and uncomfortable meeting with the entire police department via cell phone one day on how to make this happen. So, and we had a solution. And at the meeting, guess what? We brought it forward. And it wasn't in hiding because it was supposed to be on here of swearing in our new police officers, but it was not.
But you didn't tell me that you were going to swear in officers. You didn't tell me that.
JC, you stopped communicating with me a long time ago.
Sir, you didn't,
hold
you
on,
didn't tell
hold
me
on.
that. You know, throughout that whole process, you
Listen.
and I were in contact.
I don't want to do this here on the dais, but let me just say, you don't return my calls, you don't return my text and emails. I sent an email. It took you over a week to even respond to me on an email.
Sir,
And you said, we met in Vegas. You flew out to Vegas to meet with me.
That's
that
correct.
we needed to work together and we need to be on the same page. I assure you, we are not there. We are not there. Here's why. We have contractors here in town. We got a huge construction project going on with the hospital, Wawa. They had an issue over there. Okay, they sent the town manager several emails.
Mayor, you're
Hold on,
deviating.
hold on.
You're deviating. Let's talk about this BSO
No, I'm
contract.
talking about something that goes along with this. I had a meeting with him and HR at the same time, and he wasn't getting responded to. It was a critical issue that needed to be corrected when it came to our new construction project over here. It was a simple solution. It was an easy fix. But so much so, the contractors reached out to me and said, hey, no communication with the town manager. What's going on? Can you help out? Here's the situation. He even called me. I was sitting in a meeting with HR and JC the moment that happened. And I said, why are you not addressing this? Oh, I'll get to it. Here, it's a simple fix. Explain the fix. He goes, I'll take care of it later today. But that's not how you run a town, especially with critical things coming forward. And this is an ongoing problem. But when it comes to the BSO contract, two people could bring it back up. The swearing in of the police officers was supposed to be on the agenda. It was not. But it was supposed to be on the agenda. And you two were supposed to be aware of it because it was on the agenda. I just want to clarify with you guys where we were at for that.
I mean, you wanted to say?
It's clarified. I think it's clarified. We understand now, and I was the one who asked for that to be brought up on the agenda, the BSO contract, because I thought we were in a perilous situation.
And unfortunately, you were misinformed of where we were actually at.
Misinformed, not informed, or not aware. The only thing you told me was that you had a plan, but you weren't going to tell us what it was.
All right.
And so
Take a moment here.
So we'll just take. Let's just.
Okay, I got one other item resolving this.
Let's just let it go.
No, I got one other issue that we need to discuss here. I want you to see, I know you weren't there, but if you look around the room today, who was there? This was a historic moment for the town of Pembroke Park, was launching our police department.
If we had known about it, it could have been even more historic.
You were where at midnight we launched on October 1st. We had an event here in front of Town Hall.
Oh, afterwards, yeah.
And I will say, JC messaged me, he had a sick kid and could not make it.
And a sick, my significant other had COVID.
His significant other was sick as well. We were in communication about that. I understand why he wasn't there. But my point being, if you see the people who weren't there and the people who are here, gives you a really big indication on who is really for this town, because this was a mammoth event. This was huge for the town of Pembroke Park. This made national news.
I believe you said.
National news.
I believe you said we were going to properly.
We are
celebrate
doing a
this
proper
at some
grand
other
opening
point.
once that is done. But transferring from the sheriff's department over to the town of Pembroke Park and sending them off on their first patrol, that was huge for the town. Unfortunately, we got very little coverage on that. We get a lot of coverage that is against this town, and that's very unsettling. So,
Well, some of our recent coverage wasn't too great either.
no, it wasn't. Go ahead.
Okay, sir, with all due respect, my communication trying to reach out to you was more about the budget. We needed to make sure that budget had been passed, and that's why I was reaching out to you as many times as possible, just to make sure that you would be able to be available.
Yeah, but your concern was the BSO contract be signed by midnight, by Friday night, and I'm aware of that. So that's why I brought it up. The BSO contract was a big item, and I said I didn't bring it up. If he put it on the agenda, that would be one thing, but we're fine. We're going to move forward.
And the other
So-
thing, sir, to be honest, because of the hurricane, the main intent was to swear in those officers. And since I'm able to do it, just in my office, I was not aware that it was going to be something that was going to put before the commission, to be totally honest. I had spoken with the police. I prepared the documents that I have to sign off on, and the main issue was making sure that these officers were sworn in and able to start work when the police department launched.
Okay. All right, we'll move forward. Performance evaluations. Babette, can I have you come up for a minute? Oh, yeah, no, I'm gonna move that to contracts here. Babette, I just have one real quick thing. The commissioners are responsible for performance evaluations for all department heads, directors, whatnot. Can you send, I know I have 2 sitting in my inbox right now. Can you send out the performance evaluations to all the commissioners so the commissioners can complete those performance evaluations and submit them back to you? Say, can you have them done by the end of the month?
Clerk Commissioner has already completed his.
All of them?
Yes.
Okay. Have you finished?
Did I receive one?
Yes, they were emailed out to all of them.
I only had 2 in my inbox. So
It should have been all the attachments were there. I'll send it
I had,
again,
yeah,
though.
there were only 2 attachments. So could you
Okay.
resend that to me?
Mhm.
I appreciate that. So let's make sure those are done and submitted by the end of the month. So we're not holding those up any longer. All right.
I do want to bring up something related to the performance evaluations. I spoke with Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins, and I spoke with Vice Mayor, and it was kind of, they don't feel that they should have to do our evaluations for the directors, and correct me if I'm wrong, because they do not supervise day-to-day operations. It's more JC that supervise us, and in the handbook, it talks about the supervisors evaluating and that the commission can review it.
And I will correct you on this. The commissioners, the town manager, the town attorney, and town clerk all work at the pleasure of the commission. So
That's understood, yes, but
so-
the evaluation, you guys don't supervise us every day?
no, but we deal with all the directors, department heads, and those need completed by us.
I
Come forward.
I think
I
that
think we should do both, for the simple fact that there are department heads that we don't interact with on a daily basis.
Yeah,
So the manager would have better knowledge.
I agree.
But I do believe the commission should also do their own evaluation.
Yeah, the fact that I was going to have to do an evaluation on Chief Howard, I mean, I don't know what he does.
Oh, right, for Chief Howard, I think we were gonna defer that one 6 months, for the police department's
Yeah,
opening.
you're right. And, I mean, I don't follow people around every day to see what they're doing, and there's no way I'm going to be.
Exactly.
So all I can do is say, oh, got a great personality. What do you want me to say? So.
So Ray,
Yeah, so I
say
think-
what you said again.
I think the town manager, excuse me.
Yeah, I think the town manager
He's
should.
he's the day-to-day, he should do the evaluations, but us as commissioners should also do our own evaluation.
I agree.
How would you base that evaluation when
Oh,
you
we
don't
can't
have
come-
any contact with them?
You're
No, based on what you do have, the contact that you.
Well, you have limited contact.
Right,
I'll put it
limited.
that
So
way.
you
You don't
do
see,
it based
you
on
don't
that.
see their day-to-day like
I
the
get that.
manager
It
does.
won't be a thorough evaluation, but based on your own interactions with them.
With your own interactions.
Right, your own, not
Okay.
just what you do know.
I think
Understand we are
if
a
you're not
commission formed
comfortable,
who are responsible for the town.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is, if we don't have to do the manager's job, he can do his own job, and he can do these people.
And currently, the way it's written, the manager's responsible for the staff, the commissioners are responsible for the directors and department heads. That's how we're written.
Yes, I know that.
Okay. So therefore, if you want the manager to do evaluations as well, the commissioners need to do evaluations as well.
Let me put it this way, how about the manager does the evaluations and we review the evaluations?
I disagree with that. I think everyone needs to do their own evaluations independently.
I agree with the mayor.
Okay.
So,
you guys always have the option of saying, I don't work with this person, therefore I'm not going to review them. That's an option if you feel
I
uncomfortable.
actually did that with the chiefs. I said, I have no clue what he does up there.
but you could do that, draw a line across the evaluation and submit it that way. It's up to you. All right, thank you.
And so these will be due at the end of the month, correct?
Yeah, we'll have them to you by the end of the month. If you
And
could
then do we
resend
want
me
to
out
bring
another
them back
email.
for review, or how do we want to move forward so that the directors can either get their increase or not?
And submit them to the town manager. We can have individual meetings with him to review each evaluation if so needed.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we're going to talk about the storage unit and contracts that should have been combined as one item. First, I got to ask you guys a question. So we took a storage unit for free. It cost the town nothing on that lease. So when this business owner comes to you and says, "Hey, I got hit with all these code enforcement violations. I need you to take care of them. I'm taking care of you. I'm giving you guys free storage." How are you going to handle it?
I would handle it the same way that we do when we accept things for our police department from other police departments that we don't actually owe them anything. They're doing us a favor by giving us something. I think the police department accepted hundreds and hundreds of boxes of stuff. I saw it upstairs there. It was all donated.
PPP equipment and safety
all
stuff.
kinds of stuff, yeah.
Okay.
And so to me, there's no difference in doing something like that than
All right.
other things.
I'm going to tell you there's a huge difference between that. Here's the thing. It was other law enforcement agencies and a hospital stepping up to help out the town with protective equipment for the officers, because we deal, as officers, deal with people that have multitude of health issues, hepatitis, AIDS, all sorts of different things. So we have protective equipment for that. That was
still gifts, sir.
Those were donated for the police department from other police departments and a hospital. Here's the difference. Now you got a business owner who owns a storage unit that you're getting for, well, it was apparently $4,000 a month. That became $2,000 a month. That is now free. But my point is when he comes to you and says, "Hey, listen, I have all these violations that our code enforcement officer has written. I need you to take care of these. I need your help. I need you to take care of these." What do you do?
You say no.
You say no.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I didn't
ma'am,
ask you to. I was talking to the
I
commission.
think that this is, I would like to be clear, because I think the town manager and I here have a duty to help instruct you guys what you would say, and you would say no. Just like if you got a campaign contribution from somebody and they came to you and said, "I want a special favor from you on this deal," you say
Exactly.
no.
All right. I'm just going to say I did not ask for the town manager or town attorney's opinion. I was speaking directly to the commissioners, as this is the only time I can speak directly to the commissioners.
Well,
So
I would say no. So I
I'm
don't
just
have a
trying to
problem.
tell you, there is a possibility you can be put in a very bad situation if something like that occurs.
Well,
That's
I'm
just one
75 years
example.
old. I should be able to figure it out.
Oh, just making you aware. All right, so here's another question. We are the final say on everything that comes through here. So we have contracts that come through here. We read these contracts. We go through these contracts. Now, you approve in a contract, and then that contract changes before it hits my desk for signature. Don't need a change order. It needs to come back for the commission, right?
That's what I mean.
It needs to come back and be presented to the commission. Are you aware that's not happening?
Most changes should come back before the commission.
Any change in a contract that the commission has approved is required to come back to the commission for approval. Meaning, just an example, this storage unit contract. We asked for, we voted on a $2,000 a month agreement with the storage unit. When the contract came forward, it was a $0 a month contract. It was different than what was approved by the commission. The three of us are responsible. If you approve something, it goes as written. Any change outside of that, before it hits my signature, or your signature, or your signature, is completely inappropriate. So we'll talk about the police chief's contract real quick. The police chief contract, we asked for 2 changes to be approved to the contract. And that was that the moment we start accepting phone, calls of service, that his contract would go live and change his title. The other thing was we asked for to be put in the contract, which is same language in all the contracts, that the chief, police chief, our chief, whoever the chief is at the time, maintains their peace officer certification through their time as the police chief. So that contract was being changed and changed and changed outside of what we had agreed upon. I got on the town manager multiple times about this because it took forever to get the contract done, to get it done the right way without all the extras added in that we didn't ask for, that we didn't approve. So.
Then after the approval?
What's that?
Then after the approval, after we approved it?
We approved it because it was as we finally submitted, but that was after a handful of emails trying to get this contract approved, and text, emails, trying to get this contract approved as the commission approved it. Okay? There were things being put in the contract that wasn't what you approved. It's not what we stated. After the fact that we approved the contract.
Actually, that's not what happened. What happened is, and I know because I was in the midst of all of that, I think we were trying to figure out what the commission meant when it said that David's contract would start when the police department launched. And so there was a lot of discussion about what that meant. And I think we all came to something that was satisfactory. I think the chief was satisfied with it. I think the town manager was satisfied that we all came to a consensus about what that meant. And then the chief signed it. I think that's what happened. I don't think there was anything extra or different that was added.
All right, going forward, we're going to go back to raising your hand, taking note of who wants to speak before we speak. And when it's appropriate, you will be called upon. We're going to go back to damn grade school level to get things done around here properly. So here's where we're at. It was not changed. We asked, I said right here, I went back and reviewed the video. The moment we start accepting calls for service, it was that simple. It wasn't more than that. So I want you to be aware that things that you're approving up here, there is manipulation going on in the background after the fact. And I'm currently going back and reviewing, and I will bring forward anything I have issues with going forward. So
I believe that was, we agreed on boots on the ground, wasn't it? Something like that.
it was when we
wasn't that
started
how we said it?
accepting calls for service. All right. So before we go to 12.2, I have to take a restroom break. I don't want to stop. Just keep the meeting going. It'll be just a minute.
Are you going to pass the gavel or?
And there's no quorum.
Just discussion, all right?
Yeah, I guess you guys can discuss whatever you want. You're on the record.
Yeah, right. I guess I had put on here that we possibly, in lieu of recent events.
No, we should probably wait for the mayor.
You want to wait for him?
Okay, you might have to repeat it again.
Yeah, I don't care. See what you got yourself into? That's the favorite saying around here.
He likes a challenge.
All right. 12.2, outside counsel, Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins.
Yeah, I had wanted to bring up the possibility that maybe we should look to find some outside counsel of some sort to protect the town in case of certain types of litigation that may be brought against the town for certain things, and where we won't be able to use our town attorney or some of the other people that we actually have on as consultants or whatever. That maybe we should just look at that fact, look into it to see if we could acquire someone who would be willing to, take on cases as they come up.
We do have outside legal counsel that we pay for through the League of Cities. If you're looking for anything outside that we already have on retainer, we do have other law firms on retainer that are used for a multitude of things. I would recommend getting with the town manager, find out what we have on retainer, what particularly you're looking for, if it's something other than what we have, and then bringing it up at the next workshop.
I can do that.
Because we do have several different law firms on retainer and services through the Florida League as well.
Yeah, I was just wondering if it'd be better to have somebody who wasn't related to the town and
absolutely
knew all that was going on.
Okay.
We can do that.
Anything else?
No.
Anything on that, Ray?
But we do have, what's that contract we had with somebody in case like media issues or public something? I forgot what it's called.
We do have a contract with a PR firm.
Actually, we don't have that. That was through Yolanda that provided that.
I thought we paid for extra on that.
But it was through Yolanda's firm.
Okay, so then why don't you look into getting a professional PR firm for the town of Pembroke Park on retainer?
Crisis management kind of
Yes.
Right.
Everyone good with direction for that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I have
No.
nothing else.
Anything else?
No, I have nothing else.
Anything else? 12.3, December meeting, November and December meeting schedule.
I just wanted to bring to your attention both the months of November and December because we have holidays during that period of time, and our meetings usually fall into dates where there is holidays around it. So I wanted to see your availability and also the mayor's availability putting forth the next meeting in November. And if at this moment he does not have his schedule, if you will at least give me the ability to change the meeting to accommodate his schedule.
So I don't have my exact schedule yet. It's subject to change literally at any point at this moment, based on availability of certain items for my employment. So what I can do is, as soon as I actually get confirmation, provide you with the dates and she could reach out to you two, and see if we can make that arrangement. Good. You all right with that?
And the other thing that I just wanted to bring to your attention, although it's not on here, I have already uploaded to the system the election packet that is on there. And like I mentioned to you, all of you, it does not have the dates of when you are to submit your expenditures and when you obtain, what is that called? When people give you money.
Contributions.
Oh, yes, contributions, sorry. Sorry, so there's the periods of time where you must submit this to me. But I have to wait till after November's election on the 8th so that then the elections department will give me those dates. So I'm just making you aware of it, but it's over a 300-page document that there is in there, but it's made so that all of you are aware, so every person who wants to become a candidate is aware of the rules and regulations, and they abide by them. I am only a ceremonial individual. If your candidates, if you choose to run, if not to run, if a candidate does anything that you feel is in violation, you have the right to make that complaint, but not to me. That goes strictly to the ethics, to the state, and all of that information is on that packet. But I need you to be aware of it, because I'm not going to be in any way, shape, or form, one way or another. I'm only here to give you the papers. That's it.
Did you happen to upload it? I thought I saw it, but I think I got the email. Did you upload it already to the
Yes.
website? I thought I saw it on there. Okay.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, here.
I saw it also.
All right. So
just
if
wanna-
our one member resident here wants to run, it's on the packet. So
So if you go to our website and you go to elections information right here.
Yep.
I'm going to click on that. And it's a 331-page document. And what it has in there is all the requirements by law, everything having to do with Broward County, everything having to do with the state, specifically Florida Statute 106, which is the one that governs over elections and explains all the rules, regulations, and what you all need to know. So I would recommend that anybody wishing to run, you're more than welcome to, but please be aware of all the regulations, because there are penalties also imposed when any of those, when anything is violated.
all right.
Other than that, I don't have anything else, sir.
Okay. Does that answer everything you needed? All right. 13, town attorney comments.
Wanted to congratulate David, the chief and major, for getting the police department up and running. It's nice to see it finally running now that we've been talking about it for 2 years, and to see everybody on the streets. I had planned on having trainings for the officers prior to us opening, but since we are now open, I wanted the commissioners to know that I provided the chief with a list of trainings that I recommended for all the police officers, a pretty extensive list, so that we can support the police department and the officers. And so we will be embarking on that mission sooner rather than later. And those are my comments for today.
Town manager comments.
I just wanted to, regarding the evaluations, I've already completed the ones for the directors. There's one that I got, there's a tweak I have to make to one of them, and then, but I can forward those to you on Monday. I congratulate Dave and Roshana and their staff for starting the police department. I see them everywhere, driving around. Their presence is known, and their cars stick out much more. Like I told you, Dave, they stick out better than the green that just blends into the background. So, congrats. And lastly, no, that was it, actually. Thank you.
Commissioner comments.
None.
Ray?
Just that we have a new assistant now, so we have to say bye to Joy Brown and welcome Stephen Mesa. Mesa, did I say it right?
Welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome, Stephen. We'll get together.
No, it's the part everybody hates is my comments. So, I will tell you in recent light of things that came forward. I got a statement I'm going to read for you. Same statement I prepared earlier and sent out earlier. find it here in my notes. All right. So this is the same thing I sent to the media upon the multitude of emails that I sent. And I'm going to sit right here and read it to you so you guys understand and you all hear what I have to say. I did send a TikTok video to Town Attorney Melissa Anderson from my personal cell phone to her personal cell phone. I also tried to immediately recall it as it was not intended for her. I'm not surprised she emailed the media as Melissa Anderson texted me that she meant to notify the media, specifically the Sun Sentinel.
No, sir, I did not contact the media.
So we're back to raising your hand, and this is
No. You're directly attributing something to me, which I did not do.
okay. So I'm
So
going
do
to
not
proceed.
do not send me a homophobic text and then try to blame it on me. Please.
I'm going to read this.
That's
statement
ridiculous.
that I provided. One more outburst.
I have foregone saying anything in my comment because I didn't want to interrupt town business with this ridiculousness. Please either apologize to me or don't say anything, because for you to say that you didn't mean to send that video and then to send it to the town manager is ridiculous and it's pathetic.
Okay, so I'm going to continue to read my statement that I provided to the media. And I'm going to start over. I did send a TikTok video to Town Attorney Melissa Anderson from my personal cell phone to her personal cell phone. I tried to immediately recall it as it was not intended for her. I'm not surprised Melissa Anderson emailed the media specific because she meant to notify specifically the Sun Sentinel and thanked me for the gift and laughed about it. As previously stated, the video was sent personally, not professionally. Attorney Anderson was not the intended recipient. It is no secret that I've been trying to terminate her employment for more than a year from the town of Pembroke Park. Due to her lack of knowledge regarding the town contracts and other such unprofessionalisms, Melissa Anderson has also verbally attacked 4 male employees this year without repercussions since she was allowed to pick her own investigators. Her abnormal behavior that has cost the town upwards of $8,000 in investigations, where she was unable to answer the questions, claiming she did not remember. Town Attorney Anderson is projecting hatred onto me that I do not possess, as I am the one who insisted on the diversity for my town. I expect professionalism from all employed here, no matter their unique identifications. Because of her own hatred towards me, she was given a written instruction not to communicate with me except outside the public forum on the dais. She has continued bombarding me with derogatory names and vicious attacks. Attorney Anderson has gone as far as physically chasing me through the parking lot after a commission meeting, again was verbally warned to stay away. I find her behavior disturbing, startling, and desperate. I believe Anderson has not been truthful with the commission, and the most recent example was when with the BSO contract. Even the attorneys with Broward Sheriff's Office accused Anderson of misrepresenting the truth in the commission. So I have these for the commissioners here. It's been sent to the town, so everyone's got a copy of this.
You know, I want to say why I said it was a gift, because for the last 6 months, ever since I revealed that there was going to be a gap in services between BSO, please, you are accusing
No.
me of things and lying.
This is, excuse
Sir,
me, ma'am. This
I am
is-
the town attorney, and you just attacked my reputation, and I have the right to respond. You have been attacking me since I revealed that there was going to be a gap in services between the end of the BSO contract and the beginning of the police department, and it has been nonstop. I have sat here, I have taken the abuse, and then you capped it off with a homophobic video, which you're now excusing yourself from. It's sad, it's pathetic, and I have no words to describe. Okay, I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to say thank you to every single person in this community, including Senator Chevron Jones, who issued a statement basically saying what I have been thinking for the last 6 months, which is please stop behaving in a homophobic, misogynistic manner against your town attorney, period. I would like to have a professional relationship with you. You apparently don't care about that, and that is all I'm going to say.
Okay, this is still the mayor's comments. The town attorney had her opportunity to speak. So what I provided you with was a copy and screenshot of my phone, where on Saturday at 10:15 a.m., I did send a TikTok video and immediately deleted it. Here's what you guys should know. Take a moment, watch the video. I've heard everybody here in town's already seen it. That video at no point attacks anybody in the LGBTQ community whatsoever. It makes a comment about masculine women. It does not attack anybody in the LGBTQ community.
Why would you send that to the
It
town manager?
was, and I sent it to the town manager to make him aware that I sent it to her. That's what I did.
Why did you send
But
it
the
to me?
town manager never responded to me after the fact. Never
Why did you
called
send it to
to
me,
address it.
sir?
Yeah, but why would you do it to begin with?
Why would you send it to me?
As I said, it was a
Mayor,
complete
please look at me and
accident.
answer my question. Why would you
Ma'am,
send me a
I'm
homophobic
not here to have
video?
a debate with you. This is the mayor's comments.
You took it upon yourself to send me a derogatory homophobic video. Now, I have since been contacted by the people who made the TikTok, and they did not intend it to be derogatory. They were talking to one another. But you clearly meant that to be a homophobic video directed towards me, and it's just gross that you're trying to excuse your behavior.
So I will tell the commission and the general public that TikTok, I follow those two individuals and I like their back and forth between their commentary. And they're trying to bridge the gap of hate, discontent in the society, which I have done here in the town, bringing in diversity and inclusiveness. Let me go to the fact that I even tried to bring in a trans individual in our IT department, which wasn't hired, unfortunately. I found recently that our benefits do not cover domestic partners. It was brought to my attention by another individual here in town, which startled me. I thought she was full of it, frankly, because I believed we did cover that. I've come to find out we didn't. And I told this individual that I would make sure when we do our benefits again next spring, that I will be addressing that concern and making sure that is in there. That's not someone who's homophobic. This video itself was an accident. It was sent as an accident. It was not sent intentionally to her. And the TikTok video itself was not homophobic. The only thing it mentioned was masculine women, which there's several women that are masculine women that are not gay.
Sir,
So
every single person I've showed that video to
first
has
off,
been shocked.
This isn't your time.
I don't care if it's not my time. You're talking about me and you did something to me, so I'm going to address it. Every single person, including a Republican friend of mine who happens to be an former elected official, were shocked. It's just not professional. And why don't you just say, I'm sorry, and move on? That's all I would like.
When Phoenix,
I'm sorry.
Arizona hits
I'm
negative 40
sorry.
degrees Celsius, I will apologize to you.
Of course, because that's the way you behave towards the entire staff in this town.
So we've talked about the toxicity in this town
Right.
and how it continues. and I get the blame for everything in this town when it comes to toxicity.
You do have a trouble apologizing for things, though. And you do have a
If I
tendency
screw
to
up and
talk
make an
down to
honest
people.
mistake, I do apologize for it. I stand up for things that I do. In this case,
Did you or
unfortunately,
did you not send that?
I did, and I told you that.
And apologize for it.
I am not actually. I will not, and there's a reason for it. So, understand, I brought this forward so you guys are aware of what was said to the media, that the video itself was not homophobic. The town attorney makes herself a victim every which way. In the fact that I was getting in my truck after the last commission meeting a month ago. She came out, mayor, and I was very verbal when I told her to stay the fuck away from me, and that is an exact quote, because I have given her written notice not to communicate with me. I put it out there. She's acknowledged the notice that I put that out there on the dais, and she still wanted to have meetings. I do not trust her. I do not communicate with her, and we've had 4 males attacked this year alone in Pembroke Park. I brought up plenty of reasons for the commission to take care of this problem.
That is a lie,
Didn't happen,
sir.
and
Sir,
it didn't
Sir,
happen, but
please.
that's on you guys because it's your responsibility going forward. And I just want to make you aware that the pretense of everything that was given to you guys was not actually factual.
All right,
So-
Vice Mayor DeVille and Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins, you've just had the mayor state a lie that I have attacked 4 males in the town. That's a lie. That's just a flat out lie. I mean, I don't understand this behavior. I don't understand somebody who can attack somebody else and then get up, not apologize, and lie about me personally and my professionalism. I cannot tell you the calls I have had from the community, from attorneys and individuals alike, expressing how appalled they are at the behavior. And now he's lying? Continuing to lie about me?
Well, the fact that it puts a bad light on the town, no matter whether you intended to send it or you didn't intend to send it, it puts a very bad light on the town. And, a simple apology would have been nice, but it seems you don't seem to have that in you. I would like to adjourn this meeting, get out of here.
I'm all right.
I agree.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Adjourned. Time is 1:17 p.m.
There were several announcements. You can see them up on the board, and they are also already on the meeting.